Cause it is a competition. I walk around with an invisible number on top of my head, just like everybody else in this world. Whether you want to admit it or not.
You know what? Like every week they get better. It doesn't even really matter the topic, man. It's just how can it be whack if everybody's being real?
Because there's a divine order to this. So if you want a woman to submit to you, you need to submit to God.
Polyamory is not based on I want to have sex with more than one person. Like, it's a committed relationship between a particular group of individuals, where it's 3 or 4, but they're not like, we're together and now we're going out, we're doing this. No, we're together. They're a relationship together.
Cause it is a competition. I walk around with an invisible number on top of my head, just like everybody else in this world. Whether you want to admit it or not.
You know what? Like every week they get better. It doesn't even really matter the topic, man. It's just how can it be whack if everybody's being real?
Because there's a divine order to this. So if you want a woman to submit to you, you need to submit to God.
Polyamory is not based on I want to have sex with more than one person. Like, it's a committed relationship between a particular group of individuals, where it's 3 or 4, but they're not like, we're together and now we're going out, we're doing this. No, we're together. They're a relationship together.
Cause it is a competition. I walk around with an invisible number on top of my head, just like everybody else in this world. Whether you want to admit it or not.
You know what? Like every week they get better. It doesn't even really matter the topic, man. It's just how can it be whack if everybody's being real?
Because there's a divine order to this. So if you want a woman to submit to you, you need to submit to God.
Polyamory is not based on I want to have sex with more than one person. Like, it's a committed relationship between a particular group of individuals, where it's 3 or 4, but they're not like, we're together and now we're going out, we're doing this. No, we're together. They're a relationship together.
Cause it is a competition. I walk around with an invisible number on top of my head, just like everybody else in this world. Whether you want to admit it or not.
You know what? Like every week they get better. It doesn't even really matter the topic, man. It's just how can it be whack if everybody's being real?
Because there's a divine order to this. So if you want a woman to submit to you, you need to submit to God.
Polyamory is not based on I want to have sex with more than one person. Like, it's a committed relationship between a particular group of individuals, where it's 3 or 4, but they're not like, we're together and now we're going out, we're doing
Hey y'all, let me remove this. Hello everyone. Hi Gems and Jewels. Welcome. I cannot wait to have this conversation today. Let me actually put up what this conversation is about and just say hi to the chat. And I want to introduce, sorry y'all, my baby up there crying. I wonder if y'all can hear her. You can? Okay. Oh, she is not happy that I am doing this live today, y'all. Oh my goodness. Hi, Womenosphere, Queen Nita, El Doctrine, M. Mills. Hello, welcome. I appreciate y'all so much. Hold on, let me see what they killing my baby up there. What the hell are they doing to her? She just, oh my goodness. Okay. Think she's relaxed now. Okay. We're gonna get into this conversation, and I invited panel guests that were married, had some experience that they could really help us like come up with answers, come up with solutions, really talk about this conversation in depth. And I really want to talk about women and how if women should have standards and boundaries in relationships, but it's gonna get into it a little deeper than that. Talk about expectations. Yeah, y'all. Like I'm trying to like let this pass, but I might have to mute this and address this situation. Okay, it's look, I'm sorry, y'all. Look, live. I got a newborn. It is what it is. That's why y'all love me because crazy stuff happens. But let me introduce my guests because they are just very important in this conversation. I'm going to have some guests log on later as well. But I want to introduce you first to this lady that I met in my just in my YouTube journey. We had I was on her show and I had a really good time and I loved the conversations. And so I was like, let me have a show and bring Miss Mecca Slays on the panel. Hi, Mecca.
Hi, Chica. How are you?
Good. This is going to be a good show because I know you have some interesting things to share with the listeners and some stuff that they can really learn from your experience. But how you doing?
I'm good, girl. It's Sunday, so I got everybody ready for the week, for school, and you know how it is on Sunday.
I know.
Yeah.
And I was like, my kids was like, we don't have no cheese because they like sandwiches and they like, we don't have no cheese. We don't have nothing. I'm like, I didn't get nothing done today, but they gonna be dressed and they clothes are clean. They just not gonna have no lunch. I'm gonna have to figure that out. But
girl,
y'all already know AJ. AJ, what it do today?
Hey, good evening. I got the game on this left screen over here, so if you see my eye cutting.
You always multitasking. At first it was UFC, now it's the game. What game you watching, AJ?
Oh, playoffs, NFL.
Oh.
49ers and the Rams.
Oh.
I don't care about either team, but I like seeing people get hit. So
yeah. My husband,
nice to meet you, Mecca.
Nice to meet you, AJ.
I'm feeling the setup and the hat. You are killing the game right now.
Yes.
Thank you.
Hi, April. Hi, Emil. Hi, Mia. So I really thought it was important to have this conversation about women and just setting standards and boundaries because I do think that a lot of people struggle with that, right? They just think that maybe they allow certain things because they don't want to lose the relationship and they think it makes it better if you hold on to it and if you ignore certain signs. And so I really had some questions that was really just going to get us to talking and help people understand, like, from AJ, from a man's perspective, from Mecca's perspective, from my perspective, like, what are some ways that you can set boundaries and expectations without being overbearing or without it making it, jeopardizing the relationship, things like that. And then I'm gonna have some spicy questions in there. AJ, you know what that means. I'm a few spicy questions, that's going to have a difference of opinion, obviously. But I did want to just let everybody know that, let me bring Freezy on. Hey, Freezy.
What's going on, everybody?
How you doing?
Good.
It's a balanced panel now, but I do have a few more ladies that's going to be jumping on. So y'all might be overpowered later. But how you doing, Freezy? How's it going? Checking in with you.
Sorry I'm late.
No, it's okay. You know how it is. You got to do the intro. But I can't wait to get into it. I told everybody that we're going to talk about like standards and boundaries in relationships. But with the men, I'm probably going to spin the questions a little bit so the women can just understand how you guys view it and see it, and et cetera, from a male's perspective, right? And then obviously me and Mecca, the other ladies that's going to join later, we're going to speak from a female or woman's perspective, not female, but a woman's perspective, because I know how they feel about that female word.
I'm ready.
But before we get started, you guys, please follow Mecca. She has an amazing channel. Freezy. Yeah, Freezy. That background noise is there again, Freezy.
Yeah, I'm gonna get it right.
You want to get it right? Okay. She has an amazing YouTube channel, and I want y'all to follow it. Go subscribe, and we'll actually, is that Mecca? Is that your YouTube channel? Can you tell everybody what your YouTube channel is and how they can subscribe and follow you? You muted, Mecca.
So my show is called Real Focus with Mecca, and it's on the Womanosphere channel. And yeah, come and check us out, subscribe, and leave some comments. I love comments, and I just basically help give solutions to the issues that the talking points we already hear and talk about, and try to give some solutions, basically.
Definitely. And I appreciate those. And really, her solutions are really practical, just really comes from a logical perspective. So I do appreciate that. I can't wait. But we'll talk about it at the end too, because I want to make sure people follow you.
Okay.
I will actually post questions from the chat, like if they have specific questions about anything. So I'll post the questions and we can stop and answer those if we want to. I just want to first, I want to talk about this whole idea of dating. And, it's been a lot of controversy around who should pay for the date, right? So when you go out on a date, if the woman asks, should she pay? If the man asks, should he pay? Or should you just do 50-50? It's been all these conversations. And so I would love to hear from you all's perspective. Mecca, you can start. Who should pay for dates? And you can explain whatever situation, but who should pay?
Okay. Girl, so, I've been married for almost 12 years. Okay, so, and a lot has changed since then. But I honestly, I never had an issue with men that my husband, when we were dating and stuff like that, I ever had an issue with that question. Like, it was never a question. Like, he always paid. You know what I'm saying? And even prior to that, it was the men that paid. So I don't know why, because usually they're the ones that asked, So it was like they had it planned. They planned the date, I don't understand why it's such a huge conversation, and why are we confused? Like, that's part of like chivalry. Again, it's been 12 years, okay? But I don't think chivalry is dead. Like, I really believe it's still here somewhere, but it's kind of a weird question to me. It's like, what? I don't get it.
It's been, you see, it's people in that chat who's like, whoever asks should pay. Then it's this whole idea of 50-50. And like you said, we probably came from a different time where men didn't even ask us to pay for I've never been asked to pay for a date, but women in this day and age are being asked to pay for a date. So do you think that, since that's kind of the culture, do you think it's okay for a woman to come prepared to pay her half if necessary?
So I always think we should be ready to do anything. Okay. Like, honestly, I started meeting people there, because if I want to leave, I have my car. Okay, so that's how I was taught. I don't ever wait for anyone to take you and bring you. Never let them have that control. So, but I always have my own money regardless. So if that was the case, I could do it. However, I don't know if I'll be calling you again. Like that probably wouldn't happen. But I'm just being honest with you. That's probably not going to happen. But I will be. I think you should always be prepared as women. I mean, we just have to be prepared. Yeah.
You just have to. It's like you just never know. That's a good idea though, but they need to at least drive themselves there, or at least make sure that they have a way to get back just in case, right?
Yeah.
Just in case. So I agree with that for sure. Yeah. Welcome. Let's talk with JV. How you doing?
How y'all doing?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing all right.
Welcome to the panel. I'm really getting into this whole idea of who should pay for the date. You know, we got some mixed reviews from the audience. We're really going to focus on standards and boundaries in relationships. Do women have standards and boundaries? But that was my first question: is who should pay for these dates? A lot of everybody's kind of mixed. People are saying like, if she asks, which I don't understand why she would ask, but maybe women ask. I think that's important. I guess that's important for me to note that some women do ask to go on dates with men, and so in those cases, responsible for paying if she did ask him on the date. That may be something up for discussion. But yes, if a woman is asking for the date, should she pay? But I want to hear what you got to say, AJ. What do you think about that? Who should pay for the date? Because you've been married just as long as Mecca. Like he's been married too for a long time. So maybe when you was growing up, I mean, you know, courting and dating, maybe you was paying for everything back then.
So I'm not really. I mean, I'm a traditionalist to a sense, only because of just cultural norms, social norms, what we're used to. So, I mean, my thing would be, I don't think it's a matter of who should or shouldn't. There's a couple of things. First of all, do you know the person that you're going out on a date with? That's the first question. So for me, if it's somebody I just met and barely know, I'm paying. It's just, for me, it feels weird for me to have a woman pay anything for me. And that's not a, disrespect to women or anything. It's just, this is just kind of how I'm built and how I was raised. So it just kind of feels weird. I'm also okay with, I think, the first date, go to Starbucks or something, sit down, have a chat, then she can pay for her coffee, I can pay for mine, and we can, keep it moving. Or if it's a really good date, I might be inspired to pay for it anyway, and then we go somewhere afterwards. I don't think it really needs to be as complicated as we've seemed to make it. Mm-hmm. I do agree with a lot of the folks in chat when they're saying, hey, who's that going? Is that Freezy?
Freezy, that's you.
It's not Freezy this time?
Okay. It's Jay.
Sorry. JV. My bad. I didn't mean to blame you, Freezy. We just used to it.
I'm sorry. Y'all hear my baby in back while I'm talking about echoes and stuff. She going crazy today. But yeah. Just turn YouTube down, JVJ, just in case. And thank you so much.
Oh, I don't even have it on.
Oh, okay.
It's just so I will say it's probably what's coming through the speakers through StreamYard. So rule of thumb, always use headphones. Always use headphones. You won't have a problem with any type of echoing. But to get back to the point, though, we don't really need to make it hard. I've never been asked out by a woman, so there would have never been a scenario for me where she would pay for me, right? We kind of do the courting, so I'm kind of good on that. So that's all I really had to say about it.
That's a good point. Freezy, you tell me who should pay for the date. Tell that lady.
I think the man should pay every time. I mean, even if she asked me to go out, it's my choice to go out with her. I don't have to go out with her. I chose to go out with her. I could have said, nah, I'm good. But if I choose to go out with her, I'm going to pay it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to feel like it's my responsibility every time. And, that's also how I was raised too. But if I was to let a woman pay the bill, I just feel so funny, and I'll just feel like a low life, really, if I let her pay. So I'm gonna pay, and that's it. We're gonna have a good time. If I choose to go out with you, that means I wanted to be out with you. So I'm gonna pay. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who asked to go out, you know.
Now, what if she? So okay, let me mute you. All right, quick. Okay, what if she planned this whole like? Okay, so if she plans like an elaborate date, right? Like she's the one who come up with everything y'all gonna do. How is that gonna go? Because I think that's also a good point. It's like, what if she decides like, oh, I want to go to Ruth Chris, then I want to go on a Ferris wheel, I want to go to Great America. Like, what if she do that?
It's still my choice.
Yeah, that's true.
It's still my choice if I want to go, you know. So if I say okay, if I agree to go, I'm gonna pay. You know. Now if she just pushes the point and say, no, it's my decision, I want to pay, she insists, it's not going to make me feel as bad as, you know, if she pays or if we go half. If she just insists, like if it comes like a, you know, an issue. But other than that, I don't have a problem paying, because if, you know, if I'm game for going, I'm game for paying. That's just me. You know.
You made some good points. I'm curious, JVJ, what you think. I'm just very curious how you feel about this. Who should pay for the date?
I agree with the men when they said, well, hang on, we all seem to be traditional. We all seem to be providers. So, like, if I go out on a date with a woman, I'm going to pay for it. It's just the way I was raised, the way it goes. The only problem is you've moved into a new generation where we got boss chicks and modern day females that say they don't need a man and they got it. So I don't understand why it's a problem when a lot of guys say, let's go Dutch. Let's split it 50-50. If you got it like you say you got it, it should not be an insult. But I agree with the guys. Like, I'm raised in the dirty South, old fashioned family. So if I ask you out, I'm paying.
But you're thinking though, if a man does want to go half, why would she feel why would she not date him again, right? Because this is kind of the world we living in where you self-sufficient, you're able to pay your own way. So, you know, Mecca, you said, like, I don't know if I'm going to go out on a second date with him. So if you have to pay your own way, you feel like, I don't know if I'm going to go out with him again. But maybe he's a good guy. Maybe he just kind of trying to give you your, you know, liberation. I don't know.
I don't need it.
Yeah, that's what we're going to say. That's what we're going to say. That's men and women, they liberation.
I don't need it. I don't need liberation. I'm not with this feminist movement. It has nothing to do with me. Like, literally, it's annoying to me, the feminist movement part of it. And I have my own career, you know, like I have married 11 years, 4 kids, and I just went back into my career, which is music video directing and commercial directing. So I still have my career, but I'm a boss in my career. When that's over, because I have to, I'm on set, I'm the boss, but not with my husband. I'm very, you know, that hat comes off when I get home.
Dynamic, right?
Yeah, it's different. And when for me, I can't speak for females. You know how I feel about the female and women thing. Like, women are completely different.
Explain that to everybody, because I think they'll hear you. They're gonna hear you say that throughout the night. They're gonna probably like, what she mean by that?
So in my experience, women are female are 2 different things, just like males and men are 2 different things. Every woman, every female is not a woman. Just because you have a vagina, it doesn't mean that you are a woman. A woman is who you are at your core. But the females are the ones that's out here, you know, they want to be, you know, over the men. They want to lead men. I don't want to lead a man. I don't want to do that. But they do. They like to come out here twerking on police cars and doing crazy stuff. That a woman is not going to do. We just don't do that. That's just not how we operate.
You saw that video from Chicago with the
girl.
Because she referenced that. It was a young lady. She was on the seat, like the Chicago police car, on the top of it, like twerking. And it was on 75th, which is like, it's a major street in Chicago, but it's really only got kind of like hole in the wall type of bars. It's not like downtown. It's just kind of known for like having.
That went viral or something?
It went viral because she was on top of the car twerking. And so that's what Mia's talking. I mean, that's what Becca's talking about.
I cannot. Listen, twerking's not. It's nothing wrong with twerking, right? But it's a time and place for everything. Twerk with your man. Twerk at home with your husband. twerking on the car, twerking in the
What if they
store.
ain't got no man yet? Maybe that's
Well,
why.
then don't do it. Just wait till you get one or something.
They
I mean,
probably-
Tell Sierra that.
well,
No,
see,
you
they're on
didn't
a
bring up
different.
Sierra. Y'all know y'all go in on Miss Sierra. I swear to God.
That's
like,
different. Let me tell you why.
Yeah,
She's
tell
in a
me.
different. When I work with celebrities, they're in a totally different mindset. They're like, they get paid to post stuff. You know, they get paid for all that stuff. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying she gets paid to do that. You know, but when you talk about regular people, why? Why are we twerking on the street? I don't understand. What are we doing? But at the end of the day, like I said, women and females are different. Women don't do the same things females do. Okay, women, we know when we see a man. Men, they command the room. They're natural leaders. They're, you know, and we know the difference. So males, we don't look at males the same way we look at men. You guys are different. You're in different league, right? Same with females. So for females and women. So for me, when I was dating, I was looking to see, are you a leader? Like, I'm gonna you pick the place. I don't want to pick the place. It's our first date. You do all that. I want to see what you're gonna do. You know, I'm rocking with you. You know, and so that's for me to see, is he gonna lead or do I have to pick everything? I don't want to do that. So that's what that
I've
was.
never personally planned a date. Like when I
Mm-mm.
now that I'm in a relationship and like
Yeah, that's
married,
different.
well, I'll
Mhm.
take my husband out on his birthday.
Right.
I'll do certain things for him.
Mhm.
But before that, have I ever been like planned? I mean, I guess once I got into the relationship, I didn't mind surprising him and being like,
Mhm.
"Baby, I'm gonna take you here" or whatever.
Mhm.
But like planning a date in the beginning, I've never even done it. But you know
No.
what I will recommend women to do? If you are on a date with a new guy and he takes you on a date, I recommend you paying the tip. That's what I do. I think that paying the tip is just like a good way to just show him that you really do appreciate and you know he paid for it. And you know, just bring money to be like, hey babe, let me give the tip. Like I just want to show you appreciation.
Mhm.
And I do think that men appreciate that.
And another thing, if you depending on how long you've been in a relationship with your man, it's okay to plan the date. Men don't even like to do shit like that. They don't like to be planning shit like plan the date. You don't, you know, if you
Wait, but okay, so is it just you, Freezy, or everybody? Like, come on.
I
Jay.
hate planning dates.
You hate planning dates too?
I hate it. Hate it. And the other part, the reason I hate it so much is because when you get into that, oh, I don't like this, I don't like that, or I don't really want to do this, or no. I hate it. I'll do it. And it really does depend. I mean, again, me and my wife have been married 10 years this year, so we don't really have to do that. We kind of just, you know, let's have a night out together, you know, on the town or whatever. But yeah, I'm with Freezy. I cannot freaking stand planning dates. I'd rather you, hey, tell me where you want to go and I'll pay. We good.
JVJ. What do you say? Are you saying that you hate planning dates as well? What's the final verdict? Because all the men said they hate it. So I just want to hear what you got to say.
It's not something that I aspire to do. Like, I don't think any man, like we have so many things, especially if a man's on his mission, we have so many things going on inside our head that we're thinking about. Like, honestly, we really just want to spend time with you. Planning the date means that we're trying to do something for you. We're trying to entertain you and show you a good time. But honestly, planning it, we would rather y'all tell us. Like, that's why we always ask, hey, what you want to eat? What you want to eat? What you want to eat? Because we'd rather y'all just take that, because honestly, it's not important to us. We really just want to spend that quality time with you all ladies. That's all I got.
Look, I'm sorry.
But on special days, I get guys planning dates like like Valentine's or something like that, or birthday. But
y'all hear it. Men don't like to plan dates, but they will go, you know. And I think that if a man does offer, or if a man does say going 50-50, maybe he's under the impression that, you know, y'all both independent, y'all both kind of going 50-50 into that situation. So maybe it's like up to you to clear it up. Like, no, I'm a traditional woman and I want you to pay. And maybe that's the clarification beforehand.
Yeah.
Or in that moment, maybe, I don't know, but just be prepared to pay your half if you go out with these modern men, because he might be like, the feminist movement happened, so now you gonna pay for
right.
There's another part to that too. If you're out here finessing men for dates that you wouldn't normally, you're not going to spend no additional time with this guy.
That's
Don't
wrong.
don't finesse this dude for dates, because that's where a lot of this stuff comes from too, right? Like I used to, a girl I used to date in the past, she used to tell me how she would go to the club with the sole purpose of never paying for a drink. Never paying for a drink. So I was the guy who never bought anybody a drink ever. You know, just for stuff like that. I'll be damned if I'm going to get finessed by somebody.
Me? Can y'all hear me? My camera went out. Oh, okay. So you was like, you're not gonna let nobody use you, AJ, huh? And make you pay for nothing.
Hell no.
Okay, so what's y'all opinion on that? Should women be dating men that they truly are not interested in and they know they have no interest? Like, how do you guys feel about that? I want to hear what you got to say, Mecca, first. Like, how you feel?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Well, for what? What's the point? Like, you're wasting time. You're wasting his time, wasting your time. I don't get it. Like, I don't want to be around if I'm not interested, like that. Why am I gonna waste I could be doing something else. Like, and he can too. Like, what is the point? I just don't see not being intentional about that. Like,
and I feel like some women do it thinking like, well, I mean, it's a free meal and I really don't care. And I mean, but that is the reason why like some men may have a negative perception of women being users or things like that, right? Because it's like, okay, why are you going on a date with me when you know you're not interested? It's different if you go on the date and you find out at the date like I don't like him, because that happens. I've had guys that I'm like, oh, he's so I'm gonna like him.
Not gonna happen, right?
As soon as I get on that date, I'm like, oh, he's weird.
Burner account has no sense.
He is a fool. I be
no
him. I just be cracking up. So I think that it's the difference. He is a hot mess, y'all. Do not.
That's funny.
I laugh at him so much.
I probably would too, though.
I do think that, like, I do think women do it. Have anybody ever did that to y'all? That's what I want to ask the men, because I mean, me and Mecca, we definitely agree that women should not do that. And women, I do think that if you are like you're doing that to men, I think you should really seriously stop and just really hey, help let them know like, hey, no, I don't want to go on a date, or try some nice way to let them down. Maybe we can give them pointers on how to let people down in a nice way. Maybe I don't know if you can even do it nicely sometimes, but let's talk about that. But how do y'all feel like the men? Do y'all have that ever happen to y'all? Like y'all feel like a woman just kind of used you and went on?
I got a story for you.
Oh,
I got finessed one time that I know of. One time, and it was in DC. So, if anybody's from DC, I don't know if this club's still open now, but it was called H2O. And this club had 4 different clubs inside of it. And I used to hang out in the salsa area, because for me, that was where all the best looking women were at. Plus, they actually wanted to get out on the floor and break a sweat. So I saw a real pretty girl, brown skin, dreads, nice looking. Long story short, approached, all that good stuff. And then the next day, we went somewhere. She picked the place. I should have known better. Because when we walked into this restaurant, there were like white flowy sheets and shit hanging from it looked like overly extravagant kind of sort of. It wasn't like this like suit and tie type of place, but it was. And then I had the best. Yeah. And then I had the best meal ever. First of all, there wasn't no prices on the menu, so you already know what's about to happen. There's no prices on the menu. And then I got this little thing of salmon, which was about this little tiny square in the middle of the plate. And it was the most delicious salmon I ever had in my life. We sat there for about 2 or 3 hours. The conversation was phenomenal. We flowed. There was no awkwardness, no weirdness. After that date, I never heard from her again. And that bill was $200 and something bucks.
Oh, so you think she was just...
Yeah, she got me good.
She was just wanting to go there, and she found somebody to take her, basically.
Yep, but the only reason I say I wasn't played on it was because I had no inclination that there was any type of ill will here, And again, I kind of know, like we know when a conversation ain't working out and there's no chemistry and all that shit. We know, that none of that was there. And maybe it was just on my end. Maybe she wasn't rocking with it, but yeah, that bill was $250. And mind you, This was like in I want to say 2006 or 2007.
That was a lot of money.
That was a lot of
That's
money.
like $500.
Yeah, that's like 500 today. So that hurt. And yeah, my pockets weren't doing too well back then. So it was drinks. Yes, didn't buy wine, huh? Nah, I didn't buy no bottle of wine. Nah, but we were drinking like mojitos and yeah. So I got finessed once. Never again though. That was the first and last.
Freezy, what you say?
What happened to AJ was a finesse. But okay, like, but getting
that happen to you?
Okay, like it just I feel like every man has gotten finesse. You can't really control it because you won't know you got finessed until you get rejected after the purchase. You understand what I'm saying? So but buying a drink or something, I've bought plenty of drinks. I don't look at that as finesse. Maybe she looked at it like she finessed me, but I didn't look at it that deep. It's just a drink, I don't care about that. But if something
but like women be trying to get you to buy them a drink, and then they think they
women do that all the time. Women go to the club intentionally not to buy their own drinks. They have a game plan making sure they have men buy all their drinks. I mean, that's just a thing, but I don't mind buying drinks. I don't care. I'm just like a real like outgoing dude, so I don't care about that. I don't look at that as being finesse. Maybe they do, but I don't. So I don't take that personally. But if I got did like AJ did, that's a finesse, like you breaking a check, so yeah, that's a finesse. So to me, it's like little different levels or whatever. Like, me, you might think you're finessing me, but it was no sweat off my back. So I don't really care about that.
So Mecca, I saw you shaking your head like, no, because women, we don't do that. Go, and I wanna be clear. Like, I haven't ever used a man to buy me a drink ever. Like, I don't just be like, oh, I don't like him, but I'm gonna finesse him so he can buy me a drink, or I'm not going out on a date. I've never needed a man to do that for me, but so I don't understand that mentality. Like, I don't do that to people. But what are you saying?
This is why, and I hate it, it's not good, but this is why we hear so many things going on in the news about, women going out on dates, with guys. I'm not saying it's their fault, that things happen, but if you're doing this to people, you're going to catch that one guy that's like, no, I spent, money on you, and this is what's going to happen. I'm gonna take it, or I'm a, what I'm saying? Like, he feels like he is obligated to get something. So we have to be really careful not to do that, because if they buy you a drink, and it may not be his intentions, but in my mind, he wants something and I'm not giving it to him. So I'd rather just not have that over my head. I don't have time for that. Because if I say no, it's no. And I don't need you talking about what you bought me. No, I get it myself. I don't have time.
I feel the same way. I honestly got ridiculed on a show one time because I was kind of like, well, I don't take random drinks from men because I always feel like they want something more when they send you a drink and stuff. Like, I've actually had men who come and kind of sat beside me and be like, yeah, so now it's like, I'm like, no, I'm here with my girlfriends. I don't want to, you know what I mean? You sent this drink over here. I didn't ask you. And so now I'm like, well, I'm going to have to buy your drink back or make it, because I don't want to be obligated to spend time with you. And they said that was like super mean and masculine. I'm like, so I'm supposed to be nice to him? So how do y'all feel about that? Because I feel like that, I don't want to just, if you buy me a drink, and I'm not interested in you, I'm not going to sit here and like just entertain you just because you bought me a drink. I think that's mean, to be honest. Me telling him like, no, thank you, and like sending him a drink back. But people said I should just kind of like let it go, take the drink, and just be whatever.
No, I'm a New Yorker, so I guess I'm rude anyway. I don't know, but I'm not. Like, in New York, you have to be. You're like, no, I'm good. Like, I just told you. Like, you know what I mean? But, then I came to Atlanta and it's different. It was a different vibe, but I was still, kind of, I guess, rude if they want to say it. But you can't. No, because people have intentions. I'm sorry. And it makes it bad for the good men out there. But you have to keep your guard up and kind of like think about it like that. Like, he might think I owe him something.
Yes. I mean,
know
I
what I'm
always
saying?
appreciate the dudes that come up and have a conversation with me, and then
Mhm.
we kind of vibing, and then he be like,
Mhm.
"What you drinking?" And then
Mhm.
I can say, then I can be like, "Well, no, thank you," or I may be like, "Sure," because now I'm, whatever, I'm interested in whatever he's offering. I always appreciate those type of men versus the men that just send something over, and then here they come with their little cup. Like, hey, I just sent you a drink. I'm like, no, thank you. I'm not
Nope.
interested in your drink.
Mm-mm. I'm good.
Those are usually icebreakers, though. Like when somebody just sends you a drink, it's because they don't really have a good way of approaching you. Or I'll say, I mean, I don't really have too many issues because I'm kind of a social person anyway. But there is nothing more less enjoyable than walking up to one woman that's with a group of 8. That is the absolute worst. So
You can reject it.
it's like
It's
it's basically like throwing out some bait to see if you can hook her away from her friends for a little while. But no man is buying you a drink without some form of intent. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be physical, but the intent is I want to get to know you. Period. One way, shape, form, or another. Whether it's a one nighter that they're trying to get, or they're trying to get to know you to date you. But yeah, nobody buys a drink for nothing.
First of all, if they're sending a drink to your table, we know their game is in their pocket. So, I mean, if I was you, I would take the drink and just say thank you. That's it. And go about your business.
Nah, don't take the drink.
Don't take the drink. I think it's so risky because it's
they sent the drink. They sent it. They dumb. Take the drink.
No, because then they'll be right outside your house, like I did, like in the past years before I met my husband, and they stalking you, and no, honey, no, I'm sorry, no, I can't.
They misinterpret things, or maybe they feel like you being too nicey. They will, try to say more than it is. That's what I'm
saying. Okay. I wasn't thinking. In y'all case, no, you shouldn't take the drink. But if you were single, yeah, take the drink.
No, I mean when I was single, no. That's what I'm saying. When I was single, I didn't do it either because I had bad experiences. Maybe it's just me. But and again, I'm thinking maybe I watch too much like crime shows because I'm thinking like, did he put something in there? Like, and then I don't drink like that anyway. So I'm like, what is it? What is it in here? You know what I'm saying? I'm just
that's a real thing.
Have y'all seen? So yeah, I mean, even taking it away from TV, let's just talk about real life for a second. Because Kimberly said in the chat that down south it's different. Men just buy drinks because you look good. Well, so I'm actually from New York originally. I'm from Queens. I'm from Queens originally. At Jamaica, 147th and Linden. That's where I'm from.
40 Project. I'm just
yeah. So we already
down south.
But I also went to high school in South Carolina, and I also lived in Virginia and a bunch of other places in the South. These mofos are reckless in these clubs because I have clubbed in the South. I've clubbed up north. Men are reckless everywhere, and it's not every man, but there are a few that you see. They treat women like straight up garbage in these clubs, grabbing on them, pulling them this way and that way. I saw one cat, this fake Rick Ross looking dude, that was pissed because this girl didn't want to talk to him. He called her everything from up and down, and this was a down south South Carolina cat. So yeah, it ain't. I'm just saying. I ain't trying to shit on the South, but men are, yeah. I'm gonna leave it there.
Hey, let me jump in here real quick on that
JB,
one.
I was gonna ask you, have you ever been finessed as well? Like AJ said, have you ever felt like
I was about to say no, but then I think back to like when I was in like middle school, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take this girl to the date, and at the end of the dance, I'm gonna get a kiss, and I never got a kiss. So yeah, I have been finessed, but not since middle school. But referring back to the drink, like you talking about the drink, like,
that every date has ended up exactly how you wanted it to end. It's basically
I was in the military for a couple of years, so I didn't really do dates. Like we would meet up and then we'd happen to go do something, but it was never like, hey, I'm gonna take you to Olive Garden tonight. We didn't do no stuff like that because my schedule was always changing. But no, I ain't never been finessed on nothing like that. But going back to the drink for y'all ladies, I get where my guy right here was talking about take the drink because it's like, man, if somebody gonna give you something, take it. But I would tell females the intent of is like most dudes don't do most of the things out of the kindness of their heart. They kind of there's always a little leeway of like, maybe we can get something popping. So for you all, especially if you don't want, like Miss Lady said, I don't want nobody outside my house. I would tell you straight up. And then I don't know why the girls in the chat talking about they might slip something in your drink. Like, get up off of that. Look, if you operate under the mindset of, look, I don't want to deal with this guy. He sent me a drink. I'm going to just tell him, send it right back. I'm good. That'll let a guy know straight up, like, he's not going to follow you no more. He's not going to be stalking you or no crap like that. Like, look, she sent the drink back. So obviously because you know, when they bring the drink over, they just say this person over here brought it to you. They bought that drink for you. You look over there like, nah, I'm good. Take that drink. They already broken hearted. It's like, oh, she don't want me. So it's like, it should be done right there. But I wouldn't take no drink from a guy. I mean, from a guy if I was a girl, unless you have intentions of actually talking to the guy.
Right.
Let me tell you, that's how it should be. You're right. But some guys, their ego is so broken when you do that they get pissed off and they become real dangerous. You know what I mean? And they do act crazy when you say no. So I mean, it's kind of like you damned if you do, damned if you don't. If he's crazy, he's gonna be crazy regardless. You're gonna figure it out eventually that he's crazy. He's gonna show you. But you're right. It should be the end of it. But for some, it's not. They don't let go. Huh?
Do you think that's the majority or the minority of men?
I think it's the minority because I think it's the crazies. I mean, it's the minority of the crazies that can't take rejection. And, you know, I don't think every man is like that, but I think there are a lot of them, you know, that are, and especially right now, it seems like in this atmosphere that we're in right now, this era, I don't know if rejection is anything that they could take at all.
Well, I got some advice for you. If you can acknowledge that it is a minority, I always tell people, like, the way I was trained to do certain things, I'm always like, I plan for the worst, but I hope for the best. So I'm always going to be aware of what could possibly happen, but I'm gonna make sure I move a certain way where I can make sure the probability is on the good note. So like I'm with you. Like, yeah, there's guys out here that do dumb shit, and I hate it because they give a lot of men bad names. There's a lot of women that do dumb shit and give women a bad name. I try to operate off of, I believe all people are neither good nor bad. I don't believe people are either good or bad. We can express all of that shit, but I always think about the probability of it. So look, ladies, just don't take no drink from no dude that you don't want to talk to. Like, honestly, that's the best way to operate.
Exactly. Yes.
That's what I was saying. It's not like, if I'm interested, that's different, because I feel like I'm not leading him on. I'm really,
Okay, but what about this? What if you're sitting at the table with all your homegirls and they buy a round of drinks? All y'all gonna send all the drinks back?
Yeah, no.
You taking those drinks here?
Yeah, that's a round. That's different.
Gestures. I mean, obviously, I'm not gonna humiliate him.
I've done that before. I've bought like a whole round just because, you know, they look like they were having fun. Good. Matter of fact, I think the last time it was actually in Atlanta. Me and my buddy were at a table. We were talking to a group of women next to us, and it was we were just having fun. There was no agendas, nothing. And then I ended up buying a round for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, that's happened plenty of times, and
that's not personal.
I'm not gonna reject a guy because he buy a round of drinks or whatever.
But he might have bought the round of drinks just to impress you.
He did probably, yeah. So.
Oh yeah, man, guys be doing some dumb shit right now. And
if you don't like the guy, I do think that the rule is just like, don't take advantage of it. You know, if you know you don't like the guy, but obviously there's some circumstances where you're not gonna send the drink back. But I think that as a rule for women, I just want them to understand like the impact of leading on someone that they know they don't like, or going out on dates with a person that they know they're not interested in. And I mean, I guess it do depend on your intention, right? Because some people are dating for different reasons. Some people date with intention. Some people date just to have fun, and they're not interested in being serious or long term. So we're talking to the ladies who are dating with intention and really are interested in partnering with a man, because that's the difference. If you're really interested in partnership and you want to like find somebody that you can date for exclusively, those are characteristics that men pay attention to, like you paying for the tip, or you like, you know, making sure that you're not using people. Like those types of characteristics are appealing. What do you guys say to that? I don't want to talk. That's why I like to have the men on the panel, so y'all can kind of be like, well, no, we don't care about that, or we do care about that. What do you think?
Hey, y'all
Say
care if
that
I
again
jump
for
on this
me.
one first?
Yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
go
Just
ahead.
and then say it again for me so I can.
Okay.
You're like, here. Since we live in a time of the strong, independent, modern day woman, I would tell all women, this is the game plan. I wish I could make this, I could like legislate this for the entire United States. All right, here. If you go out on a date with a man, y'all go out on a date with a man, he is gonna pay for that bill. He's gonna pay for that dinner. All women are required to leave the tip. I think we'd be fine then. Because a man will know that at least she's a little bit invested. Because women don't usually spend money on their men unless they just deep in love with a guy. But guys are always obligated to like, man, we have to spend this money. We got to show these ladies that we can provide for them, that we give a F about them and all this. So I would tell, like, if I could legislate that, like, look, if y'all go on a date, y'all go to Ruth Chris, you go to Papa Do's, whatever the hell, look, the man gonna pay for the bill. Boo-boo, you got that tip. And then we good.
Right.
Because the man will
That's
appreciate
not wrong.
that.
Yeah, that sounds like a deal.
I do
I don't
think
see anything
that
wrong.
she should at least make the effort and offer. Because I've had some dates where they're like, no, I don't want you to pay anything. And then I've had dates where they're like, oh yeah, that's cool. Pay the tip. And they think that's cool to do.
Yeah, the
You
offering
get
part, like,
what I'm
you know, even if you offering, it's like you actually going in your pocket and grab your stuff. Like, dudes, we see that and we actually respect that. Because honestly, if a woman's willing to do that, it lets you know, well, it might be wrong. Y'all ladies can tell me, but in a guy's mind, if I see a lady say, oh, no, I got that, it makes me feel like she had a good time and she wants to do it again. So she's going to do whatever she needs to do it another time. So she's going to offer to pay because, okay, I ain't finna break his wallet because we going to do this again tomorrow or Thursday or whatever. So
Exactly.
yeah, I would highly appreciate it. Even if, like, because most of the time I would tell a girl, nah, look, put your shit away. Don't worry about it. But if I spend like $600, oh man, come on, cover that tip. Like, I'm good, bro. We ain't balling around here like that.
Right. Well,
honestly,
honestly, oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Mecca.
I was gonna say, well, and you can also, because I know with my husband and I, like, well, first of all, I couldn't tell him I was gonna take him anywhere because he wouldn't go because he'd be like, no, I want to take you. So I would have to say, I wouldn't tell him it was a date, but the next time we go out, I got this. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then you can, if you like each other, I mean, I don't see what the issue with that would be. You know what I'm saying? That shows appreciation too. Like, oh, I got the next time we go out. You know what I mean? I don't see what's wrong with that.
What you want to say something, Freezy? I know you.
I want you to repeat what you said. What was the question you asked? I want to follow you all the way.
Freezy. I don't know, Freezy. Let's move on to because it's been an hour. Freezy,
but I want to comment off what my boy said though. I want to give women a tip. Can I give the women a tip?
Of course. Go ahead.
Okay.
And if I disagree with your tip though, Freezy, I'm gonna have to say something. You can't be giving my misguided tips to my people.
No, I'm about to give y'all some words of wisdom.
Okay, go ahead.
Even if, at the end of the day, even if the dude say, no, I got the tip. Don't worry about it. I got everything. Pay the tip anyway, because he testing you. Trust me, he testing you. So even if he say, don't worry, listen, I got it. Insist on paying the tip because I'm telling you, like, dudes have check marks in their mind after the date. They have check marks, and when they go home, they think about everything. Trust me. So that's my words of wisdom, right?
Okay. I mean, I already said that a woman should pay the tip. I think that is, especially if the man is paying for the date, you should just pay the tip. It's a good gesture. It'll put you in a good position in any relationship, in my opinion. So let me ask the next question, because I think a lot of men, what they say is they notice right away when a woman's being too intrusive and when she's trying to get into his business. And, and I think a lot of women don't really understand like how to properly ask questions when they're dating a man. Like, what do you ask? Or honestly, I want to hear y'all opinion. I don't want to lead you into opinion. So tell me, like, if you're going on a date, it's like y'all first couple of dates, y'all getting to know each other. How do you ask questions on a date if you want to get to know somebody? And what do you see is the best approach? I guess maybe y'all talk about the best approaches to it. Whoever.
Man, just come right out with it. Listen, don't rehearse that shit. Don't think too hard. Just ask exactly what you listen. I done asked some crazy questions on my listen, have you slept with women? I mean, I want to know everything, you know. So I just ask questions. Listen, we drinking, we having a good time. You know, anything might come out. I just ask anything. I don't even think about it. So,
Wow.
Well, I
Go
agree
ahead,
with that. I agree with that because, like, when my husband, called me at my job, after he left the job, and that's the first day I met him. He called and asked if he can take me out. I asked him, "Are you a murderer? Like, do you have kids? Are you a stalker?" Um, I promise I did. And he was like, "What?" Now, mind you, listen, let me tell you though, I had just moved to Atlanta from New York. Okay, so I was working. I seen him. He walked in. He was cute and all that, and then he left and he called the office. I answered, and I don't know you. I said, "I don't know you. Are you like a stalker?" Like, he was like, "Yo," and he was like, "No." He's like, "Well, can I get your number?" I said, "No, I'll take yours though." And that's what I did. I don't know. I didn't know anyone down here. I'm not gonna.
That's a fair question because you're like, wait, you did
Tell me something.
right,
Like,
what's going on?
he's laughing. I promise you.
I was just like, if somebody was a murderer, they're not going to tell you yes.
They're not gonna tell me, right? But I don't know. Like, at least he knew I was.
I was just thinking the same thing. I'm like,
at least I asked
nah.
But at least he'll think about it next time.
I can't knock you for the question, though. I cannot knock you for the question. I just thought it was funny, man. Excuse me on that one.
Are you a stalker?
Because I had all that already. Like, I don't need that issue. Like, tell me now. Like, at least he would think if he was a killer. Thank God he's not. But if he was, at least he'd be like, well, she's on to me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. But at least I had to ask him. Like, you have baby mama? Do you have a girlfriend? What? Tell me now. I don't have time for that. And he was like, oh, my God, you're crazy. And I'm like, oh.
So
he married me, so.
Being direct, Mecca and Freezy said being direct is the best approach when you're getting to know somebody. Just ask them directly what you want to know. And don't beat around the bush. What y'all say?
Yeah, I'm with it. Go ahead. You go first.
I got 3 questions that I ask. Yeah, I got 3 questions that I ask every female that I talk to because I'm trying to go ahead and get to the hard stuff. First off, I ask them, do you got any kids? Like, do you got any kids? That's number 1. Then I ask them, what's your political beliefs? And then I ask you, were your mom and your dad married, and are they still married? Those 3 things tell me a lot about a person. And I just leave it at that. No, I ain't finna break that down for y'all. Just simmer on that.
Right, because you can't be spilling your beans now. Like now all the women know how to answer it. But
yeah, look, I'll tell you what I'm like when I ask those questions, what I'm looking for, because if it comes to the political thing, I'll jump on that one first. The political thing is I can't be in a relationship with somebody where we contrast and we knock heads when it comes to belief, because at the end of the day, I'm the man. So I'm supposed to be leading this household. So if you have an idea of everybody can just do whatever the hell they want to do, and I'm on this side of we need to hold people accountable for stuff, we're not going to work. I need to know that you come from a family where a husband and a wife was there, because I'm a traditional guy. So I need to know that possibly you came from a upbringing that taught you how to be a wife, how to be a helpmeet to me, because men will do whatever the hell. Like, I don't know if y'all ladies know it, but y'all got it so easy. Y'all can get whatever the hell y'all want out of guys. Like, y'all really do. If y'all nice and sweet, dudes will give y'all every fucking thing. Like, we will break our goddamn back trying to give y'all something if we really give a fuck about you. That's just my honest opinion, because I know that's how I operate. But, and then it comes to, like, if you got a child. So if you got a child and you haven't been married, I know that you make bad decisions. And I'm not trying to come at all the single ladies, but it shows a pattern of you get in the moment. Now I look at guys the same way too. I'm like, dude, how many kids you got? Oh, I got 5 baby mamas. Like, yeah, dude, you make reckless decisions. Yeah, the woman that you slept with made bad decisions, but you made bad decisions too, dude. And I can't get down with it. So those 3 questions I ask all the time.
So if a woman had a child, and you kind of automatically kind of think, okay, she's not ready to be in a relationship. Is that what you're saying? Is that
if she had a child and she was married, that's a different story. Or if she had a child and her guy, whatever the hell, died, that's a different story. But we know a lot of females nowadays, they are planning for a baby before they plan for a husband. So I'm like, if you making decisions like that, I'm not. There's no benefit in marriage for men, in my opinion. I know people might disagree with me, but the laws are dictated and swayed towards women. I'm not jumping into that. it is a thankless job to be a single, like a stepdad to anybody's kid. I'm not signing up to give my money away. I'm already signing up to give my money away to my lady that I'm dealing with. I'm not trying to give it to another child that's not mine. I would prefer to give it to a dog, if anything. But that's where I stand.
I said that a couple of weeks ago. I think me and Tawana was on Lucky Show, and was it Lucky Show? But I said the same thing you said, my guy. Was, a woman's history does matter. Like if you was married, like I know one was married for 10 years, that matters. So it makes a big difference,
Yeah.
But also, as far as like being, I think what also is important if you're going to ask questions, and like me, I'm not just going to hesitate, but also I think what's good to do is make the other person feel comfortable across the table from you. Like, you might want to tell a couple corny jokes, break the ice, make them laugh or whatever, then just kind of roll into it. So, but, just sitting down and just, asking just, bomb questions and stuff, that might not be a good idea. But, you want to break the ice and make them laugh, feel comfortable or whatnot. So,
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Look, it's a smooth way that I set it up. Like we'll talk about like sports and talk about TV shows. Like what TV show she like? I'll ask her that. Like what TV show you like? And she'll say some show that I never fucking watched, and I'm like, ooh, that's trash. But just so you know, these are some questions I got for you, and I'll lead into it like that because a lot of and I'm gonna tell all the guys in the chat if y'all know it, girls like a dude that's an asshole from time to time, but just not a 24/7 asshole. Not a 24/7 asshole. Y'all disagree?
I'm gonna let you talk. I really got some rebuttals to some stuff you saying though, but I'm gonna let you talk though. I love these conversations. You say women like assholes.
No, he said girls. That's the
girls.
difference.
Okay, so he might be right.
Yeah, girls too. Yeah, girls do like
assholes. Now women, we don't.
Like assholes. Oh yeah, and I'm glad she caught that because women and girls are two different things. She's like, I see you up here. I see you. But yeah, girls like assholes. Like little slick comments here and there. That brings out the sassiness in a lot of females and it keeps them on their toes. I think guys need to keep females on their toes when they're in a relationship because it makes a relationship more interesting. And girls like excitement. They like that type of excitement. So when they don't know exactly how something's going to go, that keeps them more engaged because they're always sitting there looking for what's going to happen next. So that's why I say what I say when it comes to that. And I'm not saying like being an asshole and just talking shit to a girl all goddamn day long. No, we're not doing that. That's just rude. And, like I would say something to a guy that's doing that. But like little slick stuff, she's like, how I look in this dress, baby? And I'm like, she been talking shit to you all day. I'm like, don't look good. And just keep on pushing her and like walk out the door. I do stuff like that.
You're gonna tell her she don't look good, even if she does look good. You're gonna.
Oh yeah, I'm an asshole. My last ex, me and her used to go back and forth all the time. Like I'll go out and buy some clothes, like buy an outfit, and she'll look at me like, I'm like, babe, check the outfit out. She's like, ugh, that shit ugly as fuck. I'm like, okay. So as soon as she go out, I give her some money to go buy something for herself.
Maybe she really think it was ugly though. Maybe she.
Nah, she the type of person that say something is ugly and then wear my shit. Like if it's ugly on me, but you gonna rock it to the club or something.
Well, maybe it's ugly for a man, but it's cute for a woman.
I don't know if a jersey look different on a woman or a man, but it is what it is, though.
I think he's saying like in a little sarcasm on her. I think that's
yeah.
There you go. Sarcasm.
Okay, sarcasm.
Sarcasm is fun. I'm very sarcastic, like all day. So I get that. Yeah, sarcasm. But mean guys,
I joke
no.
I'm a big kid.
Yeah.
What you gonna say to that? Because I feel like that's a game. Like if you're really truly just got a little dismissive jerkness to you, that's cool, and that is cool. But it's like that's genuinely who you are, right? You just like a dismissive person or asshole. But if you like intentionally doing it just to
annoying,
play this game with me and keep me interested, I don't know. I don't know about that. Like that doesn't really register. I think most women, we definitely notice when it's not authentic who you are. Yeah. It's like, where that come from? Why are you now all of a sudden trying to act like this? You know?
Yeah. Like my husband's very sarcastic. And I am too. If you guys heard us actually have a dialogue, you'd be like, oh my God, they're crazy. But that's just who we are naturally. But someone that just I hate mean guys, that's number one. And just someone that picks just nitpick. I don't like that. But we could be fun together. I like funny guys. Like, I don't want someone's boring either. You know what I'm saying? So I guess it's just like a balance.
JVJ, they said you're gonna have a frying pan up your head. That's what
Who said that? April Carter. April Carter.
You said you got
She's gonna have the police right behind you too.
Cause you being mean on purpose. Like it's different. It's different if like I feel like like she said, like my husband, he'll say something, but he really mean it. He ain't just saying it like, and I'll be like, you are so harsh. She's like, well, that's what it is. It's just like, it just is what it is. You just got to figure it out. But if you just doing that just to be a jerk, just because, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about your JVJ.
It's one thing about here. Every joke has a little bit of truth in it, right?
Right.
Every joke that's told, like when comedians get up on stage and they tell a joke, there's a little bit of truth in the joke.
Always.
So it could be like a little bit of sign language, a little sub language to hit the lady. Like, hey, look, I'm saying something. It's a little truth in it, but I'm gonna try to make it funny because like I've noticed in my time that I cannot address a woman seriously, like if I was at work and I'm addressing a man. Because most men know how to like take it and they gonna feel some type of way, but they just gotta take it. You don't want to make a woman cry at work. I promise you don't want to make a woman cry at work. You're not gonna look good no matter if you are in the wrong period. So I joke like that, like with females. And the sad part is when you ask females what they want in a guy, a lot of girls say, I want a guy that's funny. I'm being
funny, not annoying. Funny, not annoying.
Let me ask you a question, bro. Okay, so obviously this is your personality. Do you do this on every date you go on? You that's how you're gonna be, or do you judge like who you're in front of? Are you like that on like just regardless? Or?
Oh, I'm 24/7 myself all the time. But you do have to read a room. You do have to read a room. Like it's a time and a place for everything. Like throughout conversations, you can tell like, okay, we're up on the funny stuff. Okay, now we're talking about serious stuff. Okay, now I'm trying to get to know you. You know when you can throw stuff in. Like if something funny's happened, like you might trip. I'm gonna say something about it. I'm gonna make a joke about that. But if we literally over here talking about families and what we see for the future and stuff, it ain't no time to be throwing jokes in there. So it's like time and a place for everything.
Yeah. AJ, what you think? So everybody kind of consistently agrees. I didn't respond yet, but everybody agrees that like being blunt is the best approach when it comes to asking questions to getting to know somebody. What you think about that?
I mean, I guess. I mean, be intentional with getting the information you're looking for, but sit down and have a conversation. I mean, God, this shit sounds like an interview. Like all of it, sit down and I need to know where were you from? Where were you born? Where was this? And like just sit down, have fun, chat. JB kind of hit it where it's you get to your answers in a roundabout way. You do it in a. I mean, when you get on the family subject and it's cool, where you're from, where your parents at, or whatever. And then you can kind of discern just from basic conversation what the person you're dating's background is kind of like. I mean, there's a way of doing it without just going. So, you got any kids? You ever been married before? That shit ain't fun.
Well, with social media, you probably don't know everything about the person.
Yeah, well,
you gonna
know. unless you meet somebody like me, because I don't really have a social media presence like that. I mean, I'm on there, but I'm not really on there like that. But I did want to point out something funny though. A while back, when JB said y'all have it so easy, both of y'all turn your heads to the side at the same time, and I about died. That shit was hilarious.
You saw that?
Yeah, they both went.
Because I can't even believe that a man would say we had something easy as a woman.
But yeah,
I'll see it.
Just be intentional with your conversations and be chill. Like chill out.
You think
just have fun.
We get free stuff from men that's
no. It's not just because
it comes with a cost. Everything that we do is like a price to pay, and it's not always fun to pay those prices.
You really think that females? Here you go. Do you think that females have it harder than men, or equally as hard as men?
In which ways? I'm sorry. Like
in the grand scheme of the United States, do you either Do you either have it harder, or do you have it the same, or do you have it easier? In the grand scheme of the United States of America.
I would say easier, to be honest with you. That's just me personally.
Okay, we got one. All right, what you got?
Wait, who has it easier, Mecca? You saying men have it
Females,
easier? Females, we have
females.
it easier.
I mean, we do have but if you think about the whole U.S., you know what I mean, and you think about it, like my husband always say, if we fail, they're looking at me. They're not looking at you. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm the leader. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I get what you're saying. You know,
I guess
I think.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Continue.
No, you're fine.
Sorry.
And then it's like,
mhm.
oh, I'm sorry. Okay, but it's like even with kids, like we have, if you know what I'm saying, we get, not in every state, but in most states, you know, you can get some help with that. You know, it's not as easy for men to get help, you know, with different, you know, programs and you know, if you think about it. But we do have our hardship, but I think that overall we might have it a little bit easier, just a tad bit in different ways in the US.
In different ways, yeah. I mean,
Yeah, it depends on context. Context is
and
important.
this is what I say. I say that Black women and Black men, we kind of face some of the same types of stuff, discrimination in different ways. And I honestly feel like it's harder for just women of color in general, not even like comparing it to other women, because I do understand in the aspect of just women overall and their access to certain things, but it doesn't really apply to women of color the same. And so I just don't see it the same. And I guess maybe if you looking at it from just how, you know, access we get to resources and free stuff and things like that, obviously women, we have it way easier because it's, you know, it's easier for us to apply for those types of things. But I don't know in what way is it.
And it literally is all about context. So think about in the world of dating, it depends on your perspective on easy, right? So yes, women get approached always, right? You can just walk out, as long as you're halfway decent looking, you are always going to get approached. But on the other side of that coin, it might be really fucking annoying every time you walk out of your house that somebody has to approach you. Like you can't even go get some, you know, toilet paper from Walmart without somebody chasing you around. The other aspect to look at it too is I don't know what it feels like to walk out at night and be afraid.
Yeah.
Like if I'm by myself, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what that's like. I mean, to an extent, man. I mean, of course, if I'm walking like in the middle of the night in, you know, the Brooklyn or the Bronx or some shit like that somewhere, then yeah, you know, I'm gonna be afraid that I might get clips, you know. But generally speaking, like if I'm going to the club or something like that, I don't feel unsafe at the club. But a lot of women feel unsafe at the club.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, so it's all about context.
The thing is huge because I feel like I feel unsafe around men a lot. Like even when I'm in certain environments, especially if I'm with my kids, I feel more vulnerable. Like there's a lot that I think that is discounted as far as women in our approach. Because men who, especially if you're a beautiful woman, they can be a little bit more aggressive and it's a little scary sometimes. You be like, ooh, like, I don't know. It's weird because you get approached all the time. I guess some women think that's easier, but it's easy. It's harder to meet like good guys who really not using you or who really not on no bull stuff. Like it's harder for us to meet good guys, I think. Yeah, it's a lot of guys that are approaching you all the time. Yeah.
Tawana, so what was your answer to that? Do you think it's harder, the same, or easier?
But we were talking about in context of dating, right? Or are you just talking about in life?
No, just as a whole, men in America and women in America as a whole. So easier, harder, or the same? Think about it.
I don't know how I feel about answering this question. I'm going to say that it's a little bit harder for women.
Okay. I was waiting on you to say that just for the reason I can point this out.
Go ahead. I know you was waiting.
Women have more. Here you go. Women have more rights in America than men do. Do you believe that or disagree?
I thought we had equal. Well, I thought we had equal rights. What you mean?
No, I'm saying like, yeah, that's the end goal. But women have more rights literally than men do in America.
Well, I thought we just fought for. We had to fight for those rights, to vote, and all kinds of rights that wasn't taken away from us. What rights are you talking about? The Constitution? What rights? Because we all have the same rights.
Family court.
No, I'm saying, but women have more. But women have more rights than men.
You're saying our courts in our favor more so than men. Yes, I agree with that statement.
Not even in favor. Like they literally have laws that women have more rights than men. Like, do you believe that, or you disagree with it?
Tell me which rights that we have.
All right, a woman has the right to say that she doesn't want to have a child, but a man can't.
Okay, rights over our bodies.
I'm just staying with that one. I'm just staying with that one. A man cannot decide he doesn't want to have the child, and a man definitely can't decide.
You can decide you don't want to have a child, but you don't get to decide whether she aborts the child. But you can decide whether or not to have a child. You can not have unprotected sex with a woman and have a child.
I thought you was gonna say push it down the stairs or something.
Or you could get a vasectomy, or you could use a condom, or you could
I was actually gonna say the same thing.
There's a lot of men who are having children. No, that's
the thing.
It's a lot of men who avoid having children with women. I think that men try to say that, but there's men in this world who have done it for their whole life. Freezy is one, right? There's men who know how to not have children with men. You are one, so you can't be speaking from.
No. But see, that's the thing, though. That's the thing. You can't put that onus on me and Freezy are the men that protected ourselves. But we know a lot of men that were reckless, right? But for a man to be reckless, that means a woman has to be reckless, right? So that's an equal right there. Two people being reckless to bring a child in. But if a man decides that he does not want to have that child, he is still on the line no matter what. A woman can decide wherever. Like, go ahead.
But us as men willingly gave up that power. So knowing that a woman has a choice whether or not to keep a child or not, we willingly gave up that power the minute we chose to have unprotected sex with that woman. Yeah. So that's
like saying we should make a law that says that men have to have a baby with me. Like that's what you like the opposite. What are you saying?
Ooh, you just made my stomach sink.
So it's like you want to control the woman's body, but so then we'd have to have a law reciprocal that says, well, guess what? If I want your baby, you got to have a baby with me, because so it's a reciprocal law. So if y'all can control how we, when a woman, has a child and she gets an abortion, then we're going to have a law that says, if I want to have a child with you, regardless of what you say, I'm going to have your child.
All you got to do is bear hug me when I'm about to have an orgasm.
This is all I'm saying.
This is what I feel. Like this is what I say.
I don't understand this argument, because I think you're right that women have control over their bodies, but I do think that I think men feel powerless in these whole decisions, and I think that they feel like, well, I can just I can't control who I sleep with, but you can, and I think that they can, and they have a lot of control over who they have children with. I know many men who haven't had children with all these miscellaneous women. Maybe y'all need to give them advice on what they can do to protect themselves. I think that men do it intentionally. I think they want to have children. I think y'all are saying, yes, I think a lot of men do it intentionally.
I was with you on until that one.
I know, I've heard it before. It's true.
Hey, Tawana, let me give you a little bit of pushback.
Okay, let me make a response, because she was talking, and then I want you to give me some game that I don't know about. Give me some game.
All right.
Now, I will say, I'm not saying all, but I've heard guys say that. They'll be like, I just want you to have my baby. Are you crazy? Have you lost your mind? Like they want. I don't get that. I'm like, I'm not even with you. Like, what are you talking about? They like
you
push
pretty,
and push and push. Yeah,
pretty,
they'll say that.
You got these good hair. You got this, and you can have like that is a sick mentality.
I'm telling you, that's what they say.
I think that men who avoid it are intentional about not having babies with women that they don't want to have babies with, and I think that is plenty of men who decide the afterward. They be like, "Oh, she crazy. Now I don't want her baby." But it's like, It's too late. You already did what you did. What are you gonna say
All
now?
right, you ready for my
Go
pushback
ahead,
to
Jay.
Wanda?
Go ahead, JB. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you go.
All right. Real shit, I agree with both of y'all when y'all say there are men out here that say I'm about to put a baby in them. I've seen those guys. I've seen them. But that definitely is like less than 10% of the population of men.
How you just gonna guesstimate? Like you don't even know. That's not no. How you gonna guesstimate that? And women in the
okay, here you go. It's less than 50%.
No. Let me say this, JB. Let me say this, JVJ. Any woman in the chat who's ever heard that, put a baby in the comment. Just put a baby sign. I just want to see all the women who go put a baby. And you can actually indicate how many times you've heard that if you can recall from men. And I just want you to see how many men do this and say this. Put a baby in the chat. Tell me, women, if you've ever heard a man tell you something like that, tell you that they want a baby.
10 of
Now,
them.
here you go.
I only have 10 hands, 10 fingers, so I can't keep counting. But yeah,
I am not disagreeing with y'all when it comes to. I think the percentage is very small. The only reason I say that is I look at Black demographics a lot, and it shows the percentage of men, especially over 30, that don't have kids. So majority of the men don't have kids. It's just a small percentage. Now, here you go. Whether you want it to be from 10 to 20, 30,
yeah,
it's on you. But it's still a smaller number than the majority. And I always base my arguments off of majority.
They had 4 dudes. 4 dudes tell her they want her baby.
Hey, tell me this. I don't want to like die on this hill right here. But
he said I have and they refuse. So it's
see what I'm saying?
But we know guys that do stuff like that.
Every woman in my chat has heard that from men. Y'all make these fake promises because a lot of men, I'm telling you, JVJ, a lot of men think that manhood is equal to sex.
Right.
And they actually define their manhood by how many women they can sleep with, how much access they have to women, and like they play on that and use that as
that's all men. That's all men.
I don't know about
we are taught. We're straight up.
No,
we're taught that.
It's a lot of black. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, men. Period. Across the board. I'm not gonna push back on that at all. Men, as men, we supposed to go out there and get it, and we get that from middle school to high school. And guess what? Yep. A lot of us got to work. The problem is that a lot of guys are reckless, and I understand that. But if you're gonna say that a lot of guys are reckless and we're getting these women pregnant, what does that say about the women?
Not a lot. I'm just saying that it's out here. You presented an idea, and I'm saying that there's a reason why men do this. I think that a lot of women experience these type of, and a lot of men don't lead their manhood with sex. I'm telling y'all, like that's not normal. I think y'all need to like, if you think that defines you as a man, then you probably like you didn't have like enough examples in your life to really show you what it truly means to like be a man.
He's just saying these younger in our younger ages, because that's what all of us. I remember I used to have a whole squad of homeboys, friends, and stuff like that, and all they did was talk about how many girls they got, and how many numbers they got, and all that other shit. And if you weren't one of the ones either telling the truth or lying, straight up lying, like whatever, but you were putting up a whole front so that your homeboys didn't play you and clown you. Yeah, that's how we were arrayed. But when you grow up and mature, you realize that that's not what defines you. I think we all kind of know that.
Hey, hold on.
First of all, if a dude is saying, "I want to put a baby in you," he's hella control. Like he has control issues. Dude,
that's control. It is control. Yeah.
It's control.
I'm trying to lock you down for the next 18 years.
Right. Exactly. It's crazy. It's scary.
Like if you got a guy that says something like that to you, I would hope that ladies will be smart enough to be like, okay, I need to get the fuck away from this guy. Like, because the guy's saying that shit like that. I've heard women say that.
That's a good point. If you hear a man telling you something,
run.
Don't pass go. Don't to collect $200.
Don't take $200.
You need to run.
And another thing that's a big clue.
That's not
another thing that's a big clue. He's going to be a deadbeat too. I'm trying to tell you, because it's not about the baby. It's about you. You know.
Right.
It's about just making
most men.
They gonna lock you down because they feel like, okay, if she got all these kids, right, she ain't gonna be able to date or have fun or whatever.
Right.
Like it's gonna slow you down. And so a lot of women don't see that. They don't understand that that's what's happening.
It's also a way to always be attached to her, even if she didn't.
Yep.
You know, if she wanted to date again in the future, you hear it all the time. Yeah, I mean that's my baby mama, so I can go after her anytime I want to.
Yeah.
You know, it's always a way back in. I mean, these are generalized statements now. We're not talking about everybody and all that other stuff, but we've seen it. We've seen it.
What happens.
Mhm.
It's just what happens.
See, that's the thing that gets me. And the mindset that a man would have to operate in or be in to think like that. He's a low value dude. Like he's a Pookie and a Ray Ray. If he thinks that, I'm gonna put something in her and I know I'm gonna mess her up, so ain't no other dude gonna want to mess with her.
Y'all kill me with that Pookie and Ray Ray. I'm telling you, it's just men of all. It's not just a particular type of man. It's men of all socioeconomic backgrounds that do this. It's a men.
If they're controlling,
it's a lot of different men who have control issues.
Yeah,
it's not just the low value man.
Do you remember what I said before? I told you that I talk on majority or minority. So I think it's a minority of men that might have those issues, but the majority of men don't. Bro, they don't think like that. Like I'm not talking about my count, but I've been with a decent amount of women. I've been all around the world and I've dealt with women, different cultures, all that crap. I had self-control not to produce a baby. But if a dude comes out and says, I'm going to put a baby in you, like I'm looking at the dude like, okay, you literally have a mindset of scarcity because you think that's the only female that you could possibly get. You don't want to go back out into the field and hunt for another one. So you're going to try to lock her down so don't nobody else want her. That's some weird shit. I don't think that's majority of men. I really
this might be a good question to ask on the first date.
It's definitely not majority of men.
That's why I actually they got kids.
It's not majority of men, but a lot of men do it, right? A lot of us women.
A lot meaning what? A lot meaning what? Like what? 35%? 45%?
So both me and Mecca and several other ladies in the chat have heard several men say that, right? Then it's got to be like, and I mean
a good amount. It's a good amount.
I don't know. It's got to be higher than you saying. The percentage is pretty high when they try to, because I think a lot of times they think that, having a baby is going to lock you down. It's going to lock you down. And I think
do you know
the talk.
Do you know like how like here? I'm pretty sure like all of y'all college educated and all that. I know that.
Yeah.
Okay, there are how many? If every black man got married, right? There would still be 2 million black women, right? What percentage of that is the entire black community? The 2 million women that would not be married out of all the black women together. What percentage is that 2 million?
What are you saying? So you're saying all black people, if we got married to all of the available women, if black men got married to all of the women that are currently, is that what you're saying? I don't.
No. Basically, I'm saying like if every black man got married to. Yeah. I'm saying if every black man got married to every black woman, there would still be 2 million black women left. So if we took, let's say all the black men didn't marry
18 and up, right? Like you talking about.
Yeah. I think that's how they exactly.
We about to go into polygamy. That's where it's going.
I'm just asking because.
No. We ain't going into that. No, we're not going into that.
Because most men marry within their age range. So I think sometimes we don't study like how many women are between this age and would date the men and are more than likely to date this group of men at this age. We always look at the black community as a whole. We don't consider homosexuality. We don't consider those other LGBT community. We don't consider all of those things when we're talking. So we don't even know what a true number of available people based on your demographic, based on all those things. So that's why I'm asking specific questions, because I feel like there's so much stuff in play. It's just so much stuff in play that we don't.
You just proved my point. Because that's why I said this, because I was trying to understand if y'all really knew about percentages. Like when you say when y'all know a lot of women that have these guys that do this type of shit, I'm like, what is the percentage? And you just literally broke it out, man. A lot of dudes are gay. A lot of dudes don't swing that way. They might date women of other races and stuff. So I'm like, what really is
women too?
Women too. So
yeah, women too.
Yeah, so what is the percentage? And that's why I say it's really small. We talk about it so much. We push it out. They covered it in the media. They covered it on TV shows. They talk about it on YouTube channels and all this shit to blow it up. But honestly, it's just like this fucking big. Like, I think it's less than 10% of guys that do that type of stuff.
I don't know.
I think it's more than that.
Well, I mean, even outside of that, right? Yeah. Most of these conversations in all of these spaces are really based on anecdotal experiences. I mean, I'm a big facts and data guy. So when you start getting into percentages and stuff, I thoroughly enjoy that. I salivate over science, data, and facts. I love that stuff.
And how many black people are there? How many black people are there in the world?
But just before you get to that point, what's that?
I think she said in America or in the world?
No, in America. We're just gonna deal with America because we got too many other problems in America to be dealing with the global thing.
What's 13% of 350 million?
350. Okay, 13%. I know we 13% of the population. It's 350 million here in
something like that. I think it was 300 to 350 million people is the U.S. population. I could be off.
The math right now. And then you said what percentage of black men have children, JVJ? Because you kind of made a point of what percentage of black men have children. You said it was low. Now I don't believe that number. Oh, I need to. You need to tell me this number right now. About this low. You mean that they ain't claiming you?
No, it's less than 30%.
They ain't on the birth certificate.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's less than 30% because females are hypergamous. Like a lot of females, like in y'all mindset, and I can't knock it because I believe it's a perfect survival. It's in y'all DNA, in y'all biology, survival tactic. You're gonna go for the best thing possible. So most women chase the 30 to 20 to 10% to 5% of men. Like that's usually who y'all want. Because females do not usually settle. You ask a female, do you want a guy that makes less than you? I ain't dating no broke ass nigga.
JVJ, the men.
Do you believe it?
JVJ, that's not true. The men who are married are average men who make average salaries. Do you know the average household income?
True too.
No, JVJ, that's not true.
That's
the average
true.
household income for a black family, do you know what that is? Because it is definitely not a high value 10%.
Less than $90,000. Yeah, less than $90,000. The average black family household.
This is 58.
I'm saying it's way less. It's about 60K.
This is two.
Well, I'm saying for two people, because the average black man makes like 40, and the average black woman makes like 35.
This is the average black family household income. It's very low. You're saying it like it's a whole bunch of us only going after these 10%. No, we're marrying these average men who make average salaries.
That's the other part too. So it's all about how the questions are framed. You know, if you were to ask anybody, what is your ideal mate? My ideal mate has these characteristics: 6 feet, 6 figure, 6-pack. For a man, my ideal female mate is, cooperative, submissive, attractive, in shape. That's ideal. But there's rarely someone that has all of those traits.
Exactly.
So, it's what we want. I would love to have a $300,000 Lamborghini in my driveway, but I'm good with my Audi. It's pretty nice. You know what I'm saying? But that's the point. But that's ultimately the point, because JV, what you're saying is not necessarily wrong, right? It's this is what I want if I had my perfect case scenario, but most of us don't have the perfect case. You just find the person that works with you and fits within your lifestyle, and then you guys work together and you build a life together. You know what I'm saying? That's today. That's the modern era today, right? Modern relationships today.
I went
Women
too high
are
up.
in the workforce. Women are in the workforce. Women are making money. Men are in the
I went
workforce.
too high
Go
up.
ahead,
The
Tawana.
median income for Black families is only 45,870, and that's in
That's what
2020.
I'm saying.
That's in
Where all
20.
these?
That's in 2020. So you saying it like
Say that
women-
again.
the-
Say
the
that again.
average, okay, the average median income for Black families in the year of 2020 is $45,870. That's it. This is what Black families are
$870.
Well,
No,
here's the other
40
thing about that statistic, though. That
45K, 45K.
the thing about that statistic and what skews the numbers so much is because they take the very bottom and they take the very top and then they average it. So if you hit, I would love to see the numbers on the middle class, because a lot of Black families are actually in the middle class. We tend to be painted as we're out here broke and not making it, right? There are folks who are struggling financially in the Black community, and there are also folks that are doing well for themselves. I mean, look at at least from what I've noticed in all of these spaces that we participate in, raise your hand on this panel if you're doing bad financially. Okay, and I
I need some money. I need some
Whatever.
money, AJ.
Whatever. I mean, I'm just saying. Think about
You
it.
saying like you ain't worrying about your next bill.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and those are the numbers that I really want to look at. And it's not to discount anybody who's below the poverty line or at the poverty line. I just think we need to have more honest conversations, because when we start throwing out, and I am too sick of hearing about the Pookies and the Ray Rays, because it's just such a negative trope on us. I get it. I understand where it comes from, but I totally get where it comes from. But we need to have like more real honest conversations about what we are doing and what we really represent. There's where I work at, there is successful Black people everywhere. That's my anecdotal experience. Successful Black people everywhere doing great for themselves. Retired military, on top of a current job now, retirement benefits, all of that. Go ahead.
Do you dispute that that a large majority of us are in the lower class? Is that what you're saying?
No, I don't dispute that, because and the reason why is because we only make up 13% of the U.S. population, right? Secondly, we are still suffering from the residuals of, and I know people say it's been too long, but really 400 years of slavery on top of Jim Crow and everything else. No Black person, none of us have old money. Nobody, none of us. We are the old money. Some do, but the vast majority of us do not have old money. Nobody in my family, my parents, really, their generation is the first generation who have established careers, have a property or two potentially, and are doing pretty well and might be able to leave something behind. My daughter, she's going to be fucking set, right? She will be set. But even me, I didn't have any property or anything passed down to me, or any land or anything passed down to me. You know what I'm saying? So we don't have
generational wealth.
We don't have generational wealth. It's coming, but it does take time. It's going to take hundreds and we're not going to see the benefits of that. We're not going to see the benefits of that. We will all be dead and gone by that time.
Can I say something?
Sure.
I got
absolutely.
Yes, Breezy, go ahead.
Okay. That's why I stopped looking at a lot of these panel shows or whatnot, because it's a lot of fabrication going on. I'm sorry, I believe there's a lot of fabrication going on. For me, if you like let's just say, if you're a assistant principal and you're making like $70,000, $65,000, that's a successful Black person. I mean, that's how I'm looking at it. Like, a lot of these dudes be looking dusty as hell. You know what I'm saying? No haircut, a white t-shirt, acting like they spending hundreds of thousands of dollars, but it's almost like these panels is like being in prison. You can make yourself anything you want to be on these panels. Okay. And I just get tired of listening to some of these dudes, man.
And you can paint whatever narrative you want to paint. You can talk crazy and say whatever you
want. But tell me if I'm wrong, Freezy. It does come out eventually. It does come out eventually, right? So all of anybody out here that's misrepresenting what their lifestyle is. That's why I say I'm always authentically me, no matter where I am and who I'm speaking to, whether it's here online or whether it's out in public. I am me everywhere, Because what you're not going to be able to do is dig up any dirt behind me and say, oh, he's been lying this entire time. I could show you every receipt about my life if I really wanted to.
Listen.
It comes out.
I heard a dude the other day. I ain't gonna call no names. To want to know who I'm talking about, Daryl probably know. But listen, this dude say he spend $100,000 a year on season tickets at a Detroit Pistons game. Bruh, come on, bro. You gave yourself away when you said the Detroit Pistons game.
Yeah,
it don't cost nothing but
it don't cost that much.
$13,000 to $15,000 for floor seats, season tickets, bro. Bro, you got to watch what you're saying on these.
But we want people to. But that's what we do, right? This is what we do, and I want to break that down a little bit simpler to say that would you all agree that a lot of us, and I'm guilty of it myself, we are programmed, black folks are programmed, see, we are always seen as having less than or always being less than in some way, shape, form, or fashion. So we feel the need, like myself, I felt the need that when I excelled in my career, I felt the need that when I got that big promotion, I had to go get me a BMW. And I told my wife about that. I told my wife, I said, I wish.
You was like Kanye. He was like, I had the dream I can buy my way to heaven.
Yeah, basically. I mean, but the thing was, I mean, and to be fair, and I'm speaking generally again, even in some cases, our own people look at us like that. Yeah. Our own people, if you see me in a wife beater, some sweats, and some Timbs, you thinking I'm broke as shit. When really, my pockets might be all right. But we see ourselves as being less than as well. So we feel the need to have to say I spent $100,000 on Detroit Pistons tickets. I have to show that I have all of this stuff behind me. I have to show that I got all of this stuff to show that I have money and that I'm successful. When in all actuality, you're probably full of shit. I mean, realistically, right?
Things are kind of a marker of status.
What assets do you have? Where are your assets? What money are what liquidable assets do you have? You know, most of us don't have any of that. A lot of us are 2 or 3 paychecks away from poverty. You know, you might be doing okay, but you ain't out here killing the game like people think you are. Anyway, I'm good. I'm a chill on my soapbox.
Nah, man, you said some real shit, and that problem comes from us all as black Americans and people of color, period, being brainwashed into feeling like we have to. Like, our biggest thing is that we don't even work together. We a group of people that don't fucking work together. We always looking at trying to shit on the next motherfucker. So it's like when you see somebody else being successful, you got these people in this corner over here talking about that motherfucker ain't about shit. Them rims ain't real. That's fake jewelry. You know how it goes in our community. We all grew up with it. We have a self-hate type thing, and it's kind of been put into us. But like the flossing on shit, man, like, dude, man, I made decent amount of money, dude, and I walk around bummy than a motherfucker. Mm-hmm. It's less likely for me to get robbed. Like, it's less likely
That's a good point.
To get robbed.
That's a good point.
Bro, Michael Jordan don't even wear his own shit. You see, he made all this money. He's a billionaire. He don't wear his own shit. Kevin Durant looks like a homeless man. J. Cole looks like a homeless man. Even in his videos, this dude got holes.
But we also all know who they are, though, right?
I want to.
Yeah, true that.
Because we getting into the whole, black people don't stick together. We already know that that's gonna go downhill from here. Because I got a whole lot to say about that.
I'm ready to black out about it. So
yeah, we could talk about that in another day. But I want to talk about this though. This next question: can you teach submission? And who should a woman submit to?
Ooh.
Freezy just go point to himself. So let Mecca answer, because Mecca, can you teach a woman submission? And then if so, or if not, what do you think? Who should she submit to? Meaning, like, men always kind of talk about how women should just submit to them regardless of who they are and what they are in their lives. And so I'm just wondering, because I know that you submit to your husband. What do you think about that?
I do think it can be taught, but the woman has to want it. For example, I was raised with single moms. So I didn't see that marriage and dads in the home and stuff like that. So I didn't really know what to expect, when I did get married. But my husband, I wanted to get married. I wanted to break that generational curse, right? So I wanted to change my mindset because we're programmed when we are raised by single moms to, do everything on your own, get it done, work this, work that. You make the decisions, you're the boss, in the home. And then a man comes in and you're kind of like, wait a minute, hold up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know how to transition and see that man is actually benefiting. Like he wants you to do well. He's the leader. You have to trust him in order to be able to submit to him. So I think it can be taught, but you have to want it. And you have to work at it a lot if you're a program like I was. You know what I'm saying? With single moms and stuff like that. And then I was a single mom before I got married. So, for 4 years. So I was already doing my thing, making sure everything worked. And so when he came in, I was like, oh, wait, what's this? But I wanted it to work. So I did change my mentality. It can happen. And
who should you submit to, in your opinion? Who do you think?
My husband. I mean, I don't know why. I mean, I'm not going to submit to all men. I mean, males and stuff. Because I don't expect a chick to submit to my husband when he's outside or when he's at work. If he's not her boss, like, why? For what? Like, that's what I'm supposed to do. I could see being respectful. There's nothing wrong with being respectful as a woman. It's nothing wrong. You know what I'm saying? You have to walk around with an attitude and be nasty all day. No. But submitting, that needs to be to your husband, in my opinion. That's what I do. But I'm not disrespectful unless I have to be, but other than that, I'm not going to come out like that. So that's my opinion.
Yeah. And I'm curious for the men. I want y'all to answer this question, but I do want y'all to explain what submission is, though. Because a lot of times that word just get thrown around and everybody be like, oh, I want you to submit. I want you to submit. I want you to submit. What the heck does submit mean? Explain to the women what that means.
Because Tawana, we know you ready to take off, Tawana. We know.
No, I'm not. I'm just listening. I'm listening.
Hey, I'll tell you real quick if you really want to know. Do you really want to know?
No, JBJ. Tell me what submission is. Please.
All right. Submission is not anything that's forced. That's something that a woman voluntarily does. So, like, it's been put out here in the media, and how women view it, they view it as a negative connotation. Submission. Like, it's not a negative thing. Like, if you expect a man to go out and provide and protect, like, that's why I said women have it easier. Like, y'all have the greatest job in the world. Look, you literally can look good and a man and pay for everything. Submission is required for that. Like,
so that's easy because a man is paying for everything. That's what's easy to you. That means
you submit to your boss when you go to work.
But it ain't easy to get your paycheck.
No, you get your paycheck. It is easy to get your paycheck. You just got to do the work that you got to do. And if you signed up for it, then that's what you got to do. Like, when I go into work, I don't bitch about the work that I do. I'm like, look, y'all pretty much bought my time for these 9 hours. So that's the way I look at it.
You're saying you should take orders from your husband. What is submission? Because
it's not about orders.
No, I'm just saying, but you compared it to work. So you take orders from your boss most times, right? You listen to your boss, and that way they may give you a direction. They may give you a job for the day. Are you comparing a wife and husband relationship to a manager and an employee? Because I don't think that that's a comparable relationship. But go ahead. I'm curious.
I'm telling you this. Like, women submit when they go into work, and I believe that's harder. That's a harder submission because you're forced to do it. When you come into a relationship, a relationship should be negotiated and worked with. So when you submit to your husband, or you submit to your boyfriend, it should be a whole lot fucking easier than you going into this job and working whatever hours you work, because what they tell you got to do, you have to. But in this type of situation, in a relationship, and a woman submits, there is leeway to negotiate things. You can't negotiate at work. They have their rules and their bylaws on how they're going to run this company. What it is, so submission.
But you ain't telling me what it is, JB.
Oh, you want to know exactly what submission is?
I would like to know, what is submission? Go ahead, Mecca. Let me let you respond first.
I was just going to say, okay, in a marriage, it's both ways. I mean, every marriage is different, but the husband, at some level, he also, if you want to call it submit, to his wife some things that she needs or wants to happen. Like it's a joint union in in my marriage it is. I don't know about I can't speak for everybody's marriage, but marriage is a union. It's not an entrapment. You know what I'm saying? And it's like if we want to talk submission, let's talk about, because that comes out the Bible. That word comes out the Bible, right? So let's go back to that. If that's where you want to go, it says before that you're supposed to love your wife like
Yes.
Christ loved the church. So if you are loving her the way he loved the church, if you want to go there, because we said submission, so I got to put it out there, then you're going to get that from her anyway. She's going to respect you. She's going to, if she trusts you, she's going to do it anyway. If she, if you're showing that you're not going to lead her off the cliff and the kids off the cliff, then she's going to do it anyway. But if you don't have any leadership skills and every husband's not a leader, he should be, but not every husband is a leader. Not every male is a leader at all. So women have to just listen. You're not going to lead me and my kids off the cliff. It's not going to happen. Okay? No, we're not going to do that. I'm sorry?
Choosing skills. I call it choosing skills. I tell a lot of women, like, I hear a lot of females say, man, this dude wasn't shit. And I'm like, man, you got terrible choosing skills. Not to ignore what the guy did or whatever the fuck. But I'm like, you obviously can't pick between a fuck nigga and a good nigga. Like, come on, man. Pick a good nigga, man. Like, I know not to walk down that dark alley. I'm going to walk down this alley that got lights on it. Like, I know how to do shit like that. But, Tawana, if you really want me to give you the definition is...
I don't need the definition.
He gonna read it.
I'll look you up.
Go ahead.
We don't need to operate off of bullshit.
We need the definition. We need it.
But I don't.
Yeah, we need to operate off of exactly what it is.
Okay, go ahead.
Like submission. All right, it's the action or fact of accepting or yielding to a superior force or to the will or authority of another person. You want me to read it one more time? I think I need to read it one more time. The action or fact of accepting or yielding to a superior force or to the will or it's a lot of ors in this bitch, authority to another person.
Yeah, so here's the thing. I'm not going to tell women to submit to a man who haven't even married her. I am just not going to do it. I'm not. What? If especially because you cannot tie your life to a man, or you can't make life decisions for a man who hasn't even decided to include you in his life. If he dies, you're not protected. If anything happens to you and your children, he has to intentionally create a policy for you, protect you. And if he hasn't married you, he has decided not to protect you. Because if that's the case, in my opinion, I think that you're basically telling the woman that you're not going to protect her and that you don't want to invest interest in her. And that's just my opinion. So if you're not going to marry her, stop with your submission. Stop with your submission. Yeah. Like, why is it that she got to come and do all these things for you when you haven't even made the first move to just even make sure that she's secure for her future?
Exactly. Ask my question. Like, what is the point of that? Like, you're giving him everything and he's not giving you the life, the ring, the last name, the security. Like, I don't know.
Let me tell you, you men in our community are the only men who ask women to do all these things and do not want to give them the other part. You are the only men who say, no, I'm going to come to the table with absolutely nothing, just my manhood, because I'm going to give you some of this mandingo every once in a while, but you got to submit to me. Y'all are the only men in the world that do that. Why do you do that?
I got to get some pushback now.
Okay, go ahead, Freezy.
Yeah, look, hit it, man. Somebody get him, bro, because I'm about to say something, man. I'll let you go first, man.
Go ahead, JB. Go ahead, Freezy. I'd love to hear your feedback.
Okay, I get it. You know, women feel like, why should I submit like a wife when I'm not a wife? I get it. But if we're together, right, and I'm handling all the responsibilities like a husband would, we just haven't solidified it legally. You know, if I'm providing, and because there's relationships like that without being actually married. But if I'm actually providing
Providing.
lifestyle for you, and
Uh-huh.
you know, paying bills and
Okay.
doing all this stuff, and I'm carrying myself in a way to be reverenced, right? Why wouldn't you submit to me? I don't
Now
understand
that's a
that.
big gift. Go ahead, mute Freezy.
All
That's a
right,
big gift.
can I jump in here on this?
I understand if I understand that marriage is not for everybody and everybody doesn't feel the need to have that legal document, but they may have an agreement that they are together and this is what it is, and this man is in fact providing, protecting his home, and deserves a woman who is submitted to him. If that is not her expectation, and I'm not saying that every woman is expecting to be married. What I'm saying to you is that there's so little of you all getting married to us that why are you constantly requesting a submission and you're not even like trying to marry the woman? Especially like JVJ, come on now, you definitely know that you ain't even.
I gotta jump in on that one because I gotta push back on what you just said.
Okay.
Like, you said there's very few of us get married to you all. Yeah. Black men are married at a higher rate than black women are. So yeah, I agree with you that black men.
Here's the thing: 17.3, and then 15.3. Y'all act like y'all marry it at a whole way. The only reason
hey. If you gonna pull that,
here's the thing. That's because you also marry outside of race, and black women don't.
Yeah,
we stay within our race. So yeah,
you have no choice.
Percentage is higher, and y'all marry. Okay, y'all control marriage. Of course, the percentage is gonna be higher. That's what it is. I mean, I don't understand why that's something that black women should be feeling like that's y'all. Yeah, y'all don't marry us.
No. It's
y'all don't marry us. Y'all marry outside of our race. That's fine. Y'all do that.
Do you know why? Do you know why black men go outside of their race?
I don't care why. Because what I'm not gonna do is blame black women for
it.
If
you don't care.
Yeah,
if you don't care, then you can't.
I got married to a black man. So
but I'm saying, like, hear me out. Hear me out real quick. If you don't care why black men marry outside of their race, then you shouldn't even complain about it. There's no reason to even talk about it if you don't care.
I didn't.
Well, you had an issue. You had an issue. And you said it's a small percentage. Like, I can literally take that same percentage over to women that will actually admit to cheating, because black women always say black men cheat a lot. But they've done studies, and it's like 26% to 22%, and that's the 22% is the women that admitted to cheating.
Yeah, but
that's the number one.
That's in every race.
It's regardless of it. But you hear it in our community a lot, where black women always say that these men always cheat, they not faithful, whoop de whoop this and whoop de whoop that. But if it's just a small percentage, like what you just said, dismiss it.
Let me respond to you one minute, because I don't have a problem with men dating outside of their race. I think that men should date their preferences, because if you don't prefer black women, I believe that you should not date her. And I think that women should recognize when a man do not prefer you and when his preference is another woman. And that's just what it is. And I think that women should explore their options. I think that a lot of black women don't explore their options, and therefore they don't get married. And I do think that they should explore their options. I never once complained. One minute. I never once complained about black men dating outside their race. What I said was that, why are you asking women to submit if you don't even want to marry them? That's what I said. I never said that y'all can't date outside y'all race and that it should be a problem. All I'm saying is that you don't get married, so stop asking women to submit. When you get married, your wife will submit to you. Your wife will submit to you. AJ, do your wife submit to you?
I guess.
Do your wife submit? Do you submit?
It's a little 50-50 around here.
Here's the thing with AJ. Do you care? How long you been married, AJ?
So 10 years this year. And to get back to the original question, I don't subscribe to the entire notion of submission in of itself. It is, Mecca hit it earlier. It's a religious construct. That's where it comes from. Marriage is about, it is about compromise, but I think really what it comes down to is understanding when to get out of the way. And that's on either side, right? So so first thing I'll say is if submission, since this is what we're talking about, is solely contingent upon provision, I mean, the vast majority of black men in the black community don't have the income nowadays to just provide for a woman so she can stay home and work, not work and take care of the kids. And that's not a knock on men. It's just, this is society today. This is how much things cost nowadays. Cost of living is extremely higher no matter where you're at. So it requires two incomes. So if submission is contingent upon provision, then we need to just throw that out. It's an old trope, and we need to throw it out altogether. Now, if submission is just based on, just the fact that I'm a man and she's a woman, if that's what you want to do, hey, cool. It's just not for me. The term is weaponized nowadays. The term is absolutely weaponized. It comes down to, like I said earlier, learning how to get out of the way. If we're talking about nurturing and raising our daughter, I'm getting out of the way so that my wife can make those decisions based on our daughter. Now, if she needs some of my counsel in that, or she needs some help or some support, that's where I'll come in. If we're out and about walking around somewhere and somebody wants to roll up on us and I need to protect the family, I need her to get out of the way. So she's gonna submit to that if we're talking about submission. So anyway, I absolutely hate the word. It drives me nuts. And then the other piece too is we got down this rabbit hole about dating outside the race and all that other stuff, and it's so quick for us to do that. But what we're not paying attention to is that 80% of married black men are married to black women. So that's what, we need to focus.
80% of like the 26% that's actually married.
That's actually married, correct.
Yeah,
but that's what I'm.
People say that
the majority.
It seems like a high number.
But no. I'm just talking about marriages in of itself.
It's only 26% married, and then what percentage of that is interracial marriages?
What percentage? I'm saying that 80% of black men, 80% of all of the marriages in the black community, 80% of those are married to black women.
Out of 26%, there's 10% of black men who date outside of their race. And the other,
it's 10% of 26 though. It's easy to spin the numbers to fit what we're trying to push. But
I'm just saying that there's a large percentage of men who interracially date. And so therefore I can see why the percentages would be higher, because black women are unlikely to date outside of their race. They just are. Why I don't know. They're unlikely to. There's been a big push. Yeah,
but
there's been a big push.
I've got no skin in that game, so y'all got it.
Real quick.
Black women are hold on 1 minute, okay? Please give me a second. 1 minute. Black women are unlikely to date. There's been several studies that pretty much examine why black women don't date outside their race, why they feel like that the race is on their shoulders and they have to protect the black, like they don't feel like they should date outside their race. They always feel like they should stay loyal. And that's just the reality of it. So that's why you see lower percentages in black women. It just is what it is.
I think you should date whoever you want to date, whoever you find that connection with. I don't understand the not supporting interracial dating. I am mixed and I support it completely. If our kids want to date, whoever, as long as they're good to them, I'm fine. Okay. But I think that's like, I think it's crazy that's like such a big thing out here.
What's your father?
Hold on 1 minute.
My father's Puerto Rican.
Okay. Shay,
and my mother's black.
Shay, I never said 10% of 26. We never said that. That's not what he said. He said 80% of the 26% is married to black women, right?
Black people.
Correct.
Redo the math.
So your percentages are all wrong. It's not 10% of the 26%. That's not what it is. It's 10% of the 10% of married men. Black men are date outside of their race. Okay, and I'm thinking it's lower than that. I thought it was at least 7%, but maybe it's a little higher.
I think it's 9 right now.
But nonetheless, outside
it was 9%. 9%.
The point is, out of everyone that's married, because the thing that just gets me about all of it is we get down these rabbit holes of, well, black men date outside their race and black women date outside their race. But when it comes down to just marriages in of themselves, if we just look at marriages, let's take 100% of marriages. I don't care if that number is 150 people. 80% of it is married black men to black women. Okay, that's the only point
Hey,
that
real quick.
I'm making. Now, if you want to get into the discussion about why is it that only 26% of the black population is married, you know, that's a whole nother conversation that
Well,
I'm
yeah, we
okay
ain't gonna
with
get
talking
into that
about.
today
But yeah,
because
yeah,
I
yeah.
do plan to talk about why we don't get married and what that whole thing means. But this whole entire conversation was about like who should we submit to, and I think that most of us agree that you should be married or in a committed relationship with the person that you've submitted to, and I think that
Yeah.
that is a reasonable request. And I'm trying to make sure women know, okay, it's not really. I'm sorry, it's not an expectation to just submit to any random stranger and man. And you can show respect to everybody. And showing
Yeah.
respect is different than submission because, like
Right.
she said, can't nobody else submit to my man. That's my man. I submit to him.
Well, we know
I do what he do. I don't need you to submit to my man. Just respect
At
him
all.
when he in public. That's
Right.
all you need to
That's
do.
it. That's it. That's all.
you ain't
That's
with
it.
that
That's all.
polygamy, but
Yeah, like
listen,
No.
don't be making him no plates with y'all at
I
the,
wish
at the
he
company
would.
party. Don't be
I
giving
wish.
him no tissue, wiping his face. Like, don't
I
do
wish.
that.
I
okay,
wish.
listen. I want to give
I will tell
I'm
you
on
this
the
right
wish factor.
I want to
ahead,
give a little
Stacey.
pushback on what AJ said.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's like, okay, this word submission, right? It's so harsh on some people's ears, and I don't know why. Because you shouldn't be submitting to any man if you don't respect him anyway. If you don't respect his
Right.
leadership, you shouldn't submit to him, period. You know, so me, I demand submission, especially if I'm married. I because okay, everybody, this is my belief, and I'm going to take it, you know, biblically. And you said it in your intro, Tawana. If the man hasn't submitted, everybody, I believe, in my belief, everybody has to submit to someone. The man has to submit as well. He has to submit to God. This is what I believe. So it's not like the woman is the only one submitting in the relationship, you know. So
But
everything has
if
to
you're
be.
not religious, is submission a thing?
God.
Is that so? AJ, I'm just trying to figure out because AJ, you're not religious. So what do you think? Is submission like necessary when you? And it's just your opinion, obviously. Because
Yeah, just I mean, for me, no, it's not. I mean, it's not. You know, my marriage works. My marriage works quite well. We don't. That's not something that. It's just not a core value to how we succeed together. My wife's a believer. I'm an atheist. You know, we are an anomaly. I'm not saying that everybody can live in that, but what I'm saying is I respect her space and she respects mine. I respect her path.
Can I ask you a question, AJ?
Sure, absolutely.
Hold on 1 minute, y'all. Let me read the stat from Tristan. He said he did the stats for Annalicia on Friday, and I follow her too. There are 33.5 million Black people in the country. 29.5 are married. 32.8 Black men versus 26.6 Black women are married to Black. Okay, I guess I'm not sure with that. And 26 of Black men are intermarried. And 23.9% of Black women are intermarried. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Send that to me. Okay, I guess I need you to break that down for me, AJ, because you're good with this. And he said it's actually.
Okay, what I wanted to ask AJ was, are there core values, even though you're an atheist, right? Are there core values as a man that you won't compromise on in your household? That your wife knows. She knows that you won't compromise on certain things as a man.
Yeah, we are very big on, and I'm very big on personal respect, you know, so I don't like screaming and yelling. Don't ever call me out of my name. You know, don't say things like you ain't a man. I don't care. I've said this on probably 3 of your shows already, Juana. I am a man before anything. Yeah. Even if I'm a poor man on the street with no house, I am a poor man first. So as long as you can respect me as that, and I can respect her as a woman, that's it.
Okay, so to me, that's a form of submission. She has to submit to that. You're not compromising on that. You feel it? To me, it doesn't matter if you're religious or it's just core beliefs as a man. This is your, you know,
like most men. So here's the thing. Here's what I believe, that most women do submit to our men. We just do. And I think it's automatic. I think it's innate. And I honestly did submit to my man before I got married. But that was because he provided those core things that you said. Like he protected me, and we are in this space. Like, so I felt the need to do it. And it was something that I did because it was like, okay, I want you to know that I respect you in your decision making. But I don't believe that is something that every man deserves, regardless of his status. And I agree with Mecca in the fact that every man is not built to lead. And it's just some men that's just not. I think that they should be, absolutely. Right. And I think that that's the best partner is a man who is a good leader that you can really depend on for those core things. But that's not the case for all women. They don't always marry men who got those stereotypical leadership qualities.
And can I say it? I don't know. I think it's kind of weird when, especially right now, if a man to me, if I was dating, right, and a man said anything to me like, you gonna have to make sure you submit to me, I'm gone. I'm out. Like, that's scary. Like, what do you mean? First of all, let me, respect you the way, don't tell me that I'm going to submit to you off the top, because people don't usually use that big word of submit. Like, it's submission. It's like the biggest thing I'm hearing online. And I'm like, do you guys even know what that means? Like, are you even in a position for someone to submit to you? Like, what are we talking about? Why is that such the biggest thing? Like, if a dude tells you this, chicas, I'm telling you right now, off top, he shouldn't have to tell you that. Run! Like, why would he have to? You're gonna do it if he's a man, he's a leader. You're gonna. It's respect anyway. It's gonna happen. Why do you have to say that word? Like, I'm not offended by submit. That word don't bother me. I mean, I'm about to get off in a minute because my husband, he's ready. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
to lay down and whatever and cuddle and all that. So we're about to get over here in a second. But it's the respect part. It's the respect. That's what submission is.
Yep.
And and it's a union. When you're married, it's compromise. It's not this whole the man, whatever he says you do, you come to the table, you don't talk, and you make sure you do. Look, nobody's doing all that. If y'all expecting that and y'all single, y'all gonna be single for a long time. Unless you go somewhere else in a third world country and you go over there, then that's what you need to do. But let me tell you,
they need to go get their passport and figure it out.
Yes, because you can't expect women, right? And if you want a woman that live here to act like a woman that's over there, then you got to act like the men that are over there. They're providing.
That's right.
They're not being baby daddies and doing all the other stuff. They got rings or whatever they're using. You are married at what? How old? I mean,
they protect the women. They provide. They have all of that.
Bring it. Yep. Right. Come on.
And I do want to
crazy.
Like, I do actually have one more question, but go ahead.
Okay,
Jay,
no, go ahead.
DJ, what are you?
Oh, okay.
What are you? What you laughing? I mean, come on. Answer the
question. I gotta laugh at that.
Like, why is he like?
Sorry. Like, look, I gotta laugh because the funny thing is,
answer the damn question. What's the problem?
Look,
tell us what you think.
I'm laughing at it. I'm laughing at it because I agree with everything that she just said, and I agree with everything that you just said. But the one thing that y'all are missing is y'all have a choice in who you deal with. So you saying if the man's not doing everything that makes you submit to him, why are you even dealing with him?
You shouldn't be.
So get the hell on. Like, get the hell on. Like, instead of I hate when I hear people in a bad situation that have the ability to leave that situation, bitch about it. Mm-hmm. There is no reason when you have the capability of leaving that situation, leave. Don't sit here and bitch about it. If I'm at a job that doesn't treat me right, I'm not going to stay at the job and keep bitching about it. I'm going to go find another job. That's the thing that I get a lot from a lot of people now, men and women. They bitch about the situation instead of just moving on. Move on. And I understand for certain people it's not easy to move on, but if you do have the ability, move on. Like, get out of it.
Absolutely.
I'm not gonna sit here and like my last ex. I ended it in one day. Everything was going good for the whole 6 months we were talking. And we had a serious conversation. And I was like, what do you do for me? Like, what do you think you should do for me? And she said, all I need to do is be here. And I said, we done. And it was so cold because my mom and my sister and all of them were in the house. And everybody told me I was so fucked up for it. But if you really believe that all you're supposed to do is just be in a relationship, just be here, you can hit the streets. Because
that's crazy. You're right.
Women are helpmates to men. Men are obligated. We have it. Men have always been told traditionally throughout the entire history of time, we are supposed to provide for women. We are supposed to protect women. We are told this.
Here's the thing, JV. Here's the thing. You know, I think that it's a balance that you need to promote, because I feel like you make it seem like it's just so easy to walk out of a relationship and not be like, especially if it's your husband or if it's like somebody who you committed.
No, I'm saying it is for me.
Yeah, for you, I think so. I think that we just can't minimize people's experience as far as like, oh, you could just walk away right now, because they don't do that. They don't. Here's the thing. Let me switch the subject, because I feel like we going down this submission rabbit hole.
Well, I will tell you this. It's not about minimizing it. It's about telling people exactly what they need to do. Yeah, it's not about minimizing, like, that's what they need to do. And I'm all about giving people the hard truth. I'm not trying to sugarcoat it for you. If you're in a problem, you're in a bad situation, you need to leave.
Yeah. They need to. They need, and whatever you got to do to get out of that situation, you need to. Yeah.
Just got to do
it. Okay, let's before we get off the call, because we're gonna get off in a minute, y'all. But I want to know this for women: how do she know if he's feeling her? How do y'all? So tell me, what are some signs that really women can look for when they're dating? Because I think sometimes women date and they're confused about why he's not calling and why they have to pursue him or this, that, and the third. So like, what are some real signs and things that we can give women so that they can like know for sure that this man is, you know, he's probably feeling her. He's probably interested. I'm gonna try. I want the men to stop. You know what, JV, since you got all this stuff to say about submission, I need to know, how do we know if a man is feeling us? How should she respond?
That's a simple ass answer. A man will show it. He will engage with her. He will try to set up things. He will send her text messages. He'll do things like that. A lot of females think that, oh, maybe he's busy. Guys make the same way females make time for men. It's the same way that men make time for females. So if he's constantly engaging with you, he's into you. Now, if he goes 2 days without talking to you, you're just a side chick. And you got to accept that. Just like with girls, they have a lot of guys in their thread. They compartmentalize that stuff. Like, oh, yeah, he for dinner. He's for talking to. He's for crying. You just got to, like, if somebody's engaging with you, that goes for everybody, though.
I think it has a lot to do with how much he respects you, you know. And if he's like making an effort, you know, if he's making an effort to stay like JV said, stay engaged with you, check up on you. And also, I know I'm going to get some pushback from the fellas, but if he's not trying to rush into having sex too, you know, if he's not actually trying to get the draws, like, you know, on the first night, what you doing? Calling you at 2 o'clock in the morning, you know what it is. But if he's trying to be kind of extra careful, or not even extra careful, but a little careful on how he approaches you, you know, we know he wants to screw. I mean, that's every man. But if he's taking a little bit more thought into how he tries to get into the draws and all that kind of stuff, you know, that means he kind of, you know, he's digging you a little bit. He kind of, you know, he wants this to last a little longer than usual.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out to Uncut with Daryl Long, man. I've been trying to get up with this guy right here. I saw some of his content. Nice. I want to, hey, man, write me in the chat, man. I need to link up with you.
Why don't you put your information in the chat for him? Go ahead, AJ, what you think? I saw you putting some stuff in there. You said he only invests his time, attention, and his resources. That's how you know he's into you.
That's it. Time, attention, and resources. I mean, I know it's not everybody. I actually agree with you, Freezy, but it's not everybody. I understand there's anomalies everywhere, but generally speaking, if you go multiple days without talking to somebody, you're just not that interested in them. A guy's
True.
gonna like any woman that I've ever dated, and I'm genuinely interested and want to pursue something. We talk every day, you know, or
There you
I'll
go.
take time to send a quick text, you know, because one thing I don't agree with is, oh, I was too busy. If you got time to take a shit, you got time to send a text.
That's true.
So yeah, because most of us go to the bathroom with our phones anyway, so you can send a fucking
Hey,
text.
true. Hey, you preaching right there. Like, guys will show you. They will show you, and females will know.
Go ahead, Mecca. Tell us what you think.
I think they're definitely I think that's right what they're saying. I also think that he will stop dealing with the other chicks too. If he's
Yeah.
feeling you, he's gonna cut them off, especially if he knows that you're not having it. So I think you need to let that also be discussed in the beginning and see where it falls. If you don't like it, you don't like it. But let them know I'm not dealing with you if you got all these chicks. That's just not how I rock. And if he likes you like that, then he's gonna, you know, lay it, you know, like kind of get them out the way. And you're the priority.
I have
Unless
a
you like
question.
being number two.
I
Because I don't
agree.
do number two.
with you.
I have a question real quick.
Oh Lord, come on, JV. What? Okay,
Oh
come
Lord,
on.
I
What's
know.
that?
I know.
What
I
you
know.
about to ask, JVJ? Come on,
Look,
now.
I'm your best friend. I'm your best friend for the night. But
I see. I got a best friend. What you about to ask? Come on.
what is the big problem with what is it with females? I'm not saying I'm that type of guy, but what is the issue with the guy that takes care of the house that you're in? Why do you have a problem if he deals with other people? I really want to understand that.
What's other people? Like
Other females.
If he
no, it's not gonna happen.
No, I'm
I don't
saying
give a
what's
damn.
the issue? No. Just tell me what is the actual issue with it.
The issue is, for me personally, I'm not number two. Or
No,
three,
you're
four,
number
five.
one.
No, but I'm number, not the main. I'm not just the main. I'm one and only.
Everything.
That's it. All that. I'm all that. And I'm the one and only. It's me in the beginning, it's me at the end. Like, we're not doing that. I don't share. I don't believe in sharing. And I don't like females like that, to where you're going to just be the third one. We're not doing that. No, we're not. It's me and you. That's it. And if you want to do that, you can go.
This is my
That's
answer.
how I feel.
Exactly what my best friend said, because they don't want to pimp. And that's just drop the mic.
They don't want to pimp? Who said that?
Who
said that?
So here's the thing, JVJ. What I don't want is, I'm not going to be raising children that my husband has had with another woman, or even including those children into my family. I am not going to be co-living, co-sharing, swapping lava and all kinds of stuff willingly with other women. I am not sharing or even participating in you not available on this day because you with her and y'all got, I'm not even like gonna schedule my time with my man. Like, nope. I'm just not going to do that. And I don't live cohesively with other women. It's just a known fact about, like, I'm not doing that. So it's just not going to happen with the. I mean,
if he really likes you, he's gonna feel like he can't afford to lose you anyway. He's gonna feel like I can't afford to lose. Some women are
willing to do. I think some women are willing to do that. Me and Mecca have made it very clear that we are not. But it's some women that are willing to do that.
Yeah, that's each her own. It ain't happening over here, but she could do what she wants. Yeah. And I let that be known. I let that known in the beginning of the whole conversation with my husband. I don't do that. So figure it out. And then if I'm available, then we could do this. Sorry?
Who's a Christian on the panel?
Christian?
Oh, no, JVJ. Let me stop this conversation. No, I'm done. You just go ahead, Freezy. What you was about to say? We ain't got time.
Well, I wouldn't.
He said, "Nuh-uh."
I wouldn't call myself a Christian. But I do follow the Bible though.
Wait. Don't answer his question, Freezy. I thought you had some statement that you wanted to make.
That's real shit though. Like, how you gonna say don't answer?
I got a statement. I got a statement regarding JVJ's original question.
Okay, go ahead, AJ.
So I think again, it's about operating in reality. There's probably a good number of guys out there. I don't know how many, but that would like to have more than one woman or wish they could live in that. But modern Western society says, yeah, good luck. Go ahead, good luck trying to find, a woman that subscribes to that. There are some, but it is an extremely small community. The
It's the
ones that
majority.
do, no, it's really small. There's a small number of women out there. Okay. You're saying, so you're speaking for the majority of women, saying, I guarantee you,
majority
nobody
of women.
in chat,
That's not
nobody
majority.
on this panel is wants. And
Y'all
matter of
can't-
fact, even if you go to the
can't-
world of celebrity, Kobe Bryant got caught out there with a white girl. Okay, got caught out. His wife. The only reason his wife stayed is because that man has hundreds of millions of dollars.
Exactly.
Okay, rest in peace, Kobe. And the same thing with NFL players, athletes, and all these other celebrities. If you're not a multi-millionaire, the chances of you being able to operate in these streets with multiple women and they be okay with it is pretty slim to none.
It's
That
not
old,
about
that
being
that
okay
old
with
school, that old school. But you asked the question. You asked why is it they don't want it. I actually put it in
We gonna
chat
just
because
agree to disagree with JB.
I asked
No-
what was the issue because
they
a
don't
lot
want
of
baby.
women-
They don't want to
I
deal with
actually-
baby mama
real
drama.
quick, real
They
quick,
don't
let
want
me-
you bringing
let me
home
say-
STDs, and they're
No,
just
no,
as
I just
possessive
wanna
as
say-
we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just
They're
want to say
just-
this real quick. I'm
they're
not
just as possessive as we are.
saying that it's right.
AJ, you're
I'm
right.
not saying that it's right. I'm saying that a lot of women accept it. And we ain't got to talk about celebrities because we can talk about the people in the projects in the normal urban cities that allow it when a guy has multiple girls and he still goes back and like y'all talked about it earlier, y'all referenced it. The guy will put a baby in a girl just so he can go back and get with her again.
Yeah.
Y'all talked about that earlier.
Listen, I don't. Let's
like,
get
what's
into
Ain't
the
that.
happening.
Let's get
Not
into
gonna
that
happen over
another-
here.
Let's get into that another day because I mean I do understand what you're saying that it
Yeah.
happens in society, that it's very likely that it's happening, but women with value and women who care about themselves probably not gonna just willingly agree to that.
Nope.
That's just not gonna happen. But
there
we'll-
are a lot of women that
I
willingly.
mean, I think you should go into those urban neighborhoods and find. I don't know
Yeah.
what to tell you. If that's what
Women
you want, I
agree
think
to it.
that's
That's
where
what
you
I'm
should
saying.
go.
Like y'all discrediting it. Like women do agree.
Polygamy in the projects. I like it.
I'm
Yeah.
not talking about
He tried to put
women
it out
agree
there.
to it.
But
Women
JBJ,
agree to it. As long as
Okay,
they're
but-
taken care of, they agree to it.
JBJ, you gonna put it out there as if that just happens in the projects. Like that's so mean and rude. I don't even think that's true.
How's
Like,
it mean? The women allow it to happen.
it's a perception and stereotype that you put on an entire
Mm-mm.
or like community. Like you can't just say something like that openly as if that's just a common practice and you know it for sure. Like it, I don't understand what you like.
I
Okay,
do know it.
let's just let me mute you because I'm that's distracted me. He just laughing out of nowhere. Like you can't drink when you on these panels because sometimes like you get real crazy when you be drinking and stuff. You just stop drinking. You can't smoke. You can't drink. You have to have. I have to have a no drinking policy or something. It's just.
Oh, hold up! I just had a whole glass of Crown. I'm quite
that's good.
collected.
Oh, you're good. Okay.
Oh, look.
Girl,
Okay,
no.
Don't take me away from my crown.
See, I love it.
No, please mute, or I'm gonna have to remove you. Thank you. Here's the thing. I want everybody to wrap up. I do want you guys to tell people where to follow you, your YouTube channel. I know you just started JBJ. I want everybody to follow you guys, be able to talk to you. But I also want you guys to answer the final question. The big question is, should women have standards and boundaries in relationships? Is it important? But then also share your information and let everybody know where to follow you so we can wrap up. And we can start with you, Mecca.
Absolutely. You have to have standards and boundaries, whether you are single or dating or married. And you need to let them understand what they are. Don't keep it a secret, and don't reveal it in the middle of the relationship. You need to have that conversation in the beginning of the relationship and let them know this is what I like, this is what I don't like, this is what I stand for, this is what I'm not going to deal with. And it's not saying that they're going to be perfect. It's not, but every woman has a breaking point, and my breaking point may not be the same as another woman's breaking point. Mine is infidelity. It's not happening. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care how many kids we have. It's not going to happen. And if it happens, this was going to happen. This was going to happen. And we are clear. Me and my husband, he has the same thing. We understand that. And that's just how we rock. Everyone's not the same, but to each its own. But you can find me at One Manosphere, and that's the channel. And my show is Real Focus with Mecca, and IG and Facebook it's Mecca Slays. So
yes, Mecca Slays, Womanosphere, and I don't know if Womanosphere is still in there, but please drop the link so that people can follow y'all. Go follow them right now. Mecca also has her own channel, Real Mecca Slays. Just go and follow her on everything, y'all.
Thank you.
Y'all see everything she got going on. Go ahead, AJ.
You can't find me anywhere. I will be here on this panel every now and again, and you'll catch me in chats all over the place. I do content create, but I just don't like to mix what I do elsewhere with this atmosphere. No, although your channel is dope. You've got this is probably one of my favorite panels to be a part of. But answering the questions though, should women have standards and boundaries? Absolutely. Everybody should have standards and boundaries in relationships. We all have, like Mecca was saying, everybody's got breaking points, and we have deal breakers. You know, my deal breaker, I had a small one back when I was dating. It was smoking. Would never date a smoker, you know? So that was kind of mine.
And JVJ smokes his.
Hey, man, it's not. Hey, look, you got to enjoy what you enjoy. Yeah. That's what I always say. You see all this nerdy shit behind me? I get people shitting on gamers all day. But guess what? Gaming led me to making a considerable amount of money. So hate on it if you will. But anyways, appreciate it. It was a good chat tonight.
Thank you. Go ahead, Freezy. What you say? Should women have standards and boundaries? Because I'm speaking to the women.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Women should have standards and boundaries. And also, what I want women to understand is that standards and boundaries override hypergamy as well. So we have to understand some women jeopardize their standards and boundaries depending on how big the bag is. You feel me? So, I mean, I just feel like you can't jeopardize your standards and boundaries because of how big the bag might be. Hold on to your standards and boundaries is going to take you further. That's all.
That's a good point. That's a great point. All right. Oh Lord, I'm afraid to hear what you got to say, JBJ. But I'm gonna let you go ahead and say your piece. That's why I'm gonna go last, because I need to maybe you gotta slide in there and put some disclaimers out there. No, go ahead, JBJ. Oh, go unmute yourself. Hold on. Unmute yourself, please.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Hey, Tawana. Me and you gonna be best friends. We gonna be best friends.
Right. Tell me what you
I believe women should have standards. I'm agree with Freezy when what he said. Like, men and women need to have boundaries. Women, yes, have boundaries. I really want to educate more women into being smarter about the decisions that they make, because the decisions that females make are more detrimental to the community than what men do. Like, men can fuck up and like you just gonna shit on these guys. Like, yeah, you fucked up. But with women, those mistakes actually add up to like forming the community. So yes, women, please have your boundaries. Please have your boundaries. Stack them up. Just don't have no conflated shit. Like, every guy ain't gonna be 6 foot making $100,000. You can make it with an average guy. But yes, women, please have your boundaries.
Thank you so much. Where can people follow you? Let's talk with JVJ.
Ooh, she said it so nice. Hey, you can find me on YouTube. It's pretty much you just type in my name. That's what I go by. I post like 3-4 times a day. So if y'all want to come over and support the channel, you can come over there and do that. And
definitely, people come over to support him. You see what he got to say. He got some. You know, I didn't disagree with everything you said, but you do got a very different perspective. You got some
a little bit,
but you're gonna have to come back. So thank you guys so much for joining. I will say that I absolutely want women to understand that that boundary setting expectations are important. If you heard the man, you heard that some of them, JVJ, will push the boundaries with you if you don't have boundaries and expectations and standards in place. So the way to weed out and vet people is to have those boundaries. And so hopefully we were able to give you some suggestions on how you can just boundary set, some expectations you can have, and then it just learn from the men in the conversations and kind of what they expect women. I just want you guys to be prepared when you're out there making decisions about who you want to be with. Making more logical decisions, especially since you hear how some men think about stuff, how some men think about things. You are primarily the responsible party in a lot of situations. So having boundaries. And next week, I'm going to really do a very fun episode, because I get a lot of backlash that I hate Black men. And I love that point. So I'm going to really play on this idea. I'm going to have a whole entire panel dedicated to Tawana hates Black men. And I'm going to really talk about some of my talking points. And y'all, I'm going to let y'all get at me freely. You know what? I might actually let JVJ come back because I feel like this will be fun. And I'm really going to get into it. So it's going to be called Tawana Hates Black Men. And with AJ, I'm gonna let everybody just ask me questions. I'm gonna go for it, and I'm gonna really let y'all make the decision. Right in the end, y'all gonna make the decision, and I know y'all gonna pick right. I know y'all gonna agree with me, and I know y'all gonna see the real deal. Okay, but come on back next week. Thank you guys so much to the panel. This was an amazing panel. Mecca, I would love to have you back at any time because you were so insightful.
She was awesome.
She was
Thank
really
Dope.
you.
Yeah, you're great,
really
Mecca.
good. Please,
Thank you, guys.
subscribe to her channel.
I
Subscribe
subbed to both of y'all.
Yes, subscribe to Let's Talk with JVJ. He is insane. You already know this will be a good channel.
Oh my God. I love all y'all. I love y'all like a cousin, man. I love y'all like a cousin.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys and your perspective. And everybody, peace out. Peace out to the panel. Peace out to everybody else.
Hi.
All right.